Are you trying to?
What a slurp! I mean, that was
That was probably one of my best.
that was some high quality slurpage right there. That was
His
fantastic.
slurpage, was that what you said last week?
Oh yeah,
His
his
slurpage?
slurpitude.
Slurpage.
Like, what would we rate that? Like,
On
1 to 10.
On a like a slurp scale. Yeah,
scale.
yeah. Yeah, that was the first bite. I didn't quite get the crust along with that bite.
Whoa.
But I got like, I obviously got like the first part of the pie. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah.
And I got the side piece.
Yeah.
Like the little side. Yeah. I'd say on the slurp scale, that's a 7-8.
Whoa.
7-8.
Yeah. On the slurp,
was it
that's a 7-8.
The bro's David Portnoy or Dave
No. He's being real.
Oh no,
He's being very real.
No, he's
I,
enjoying
I
it.
think
about it.
Yeah, I think it should have been a bit more solid, but it was a little too liquid. Sort of like when you have too much juice in an apple pie.
That's a good point.
You know, it just all kind of falls apart.
Correct.
Should I give it a go?
No, if you try, you will
No,
not
it's
be
like
on this
it's like
podcast
Ryan's
anymore.
thing. Bro.
That's right.
There's like a fan account dedicated to Ryan.
There really is. It's called the Slurpmeister, and it
Yes.
is me. It is just my face. Just
Yeah. Every single post is just him in his slurpitude, and then it puts like a
Fantastic.
number of seconds on the slurp.
Slurpitude.
Is
Yeah.
there not yet a compilation of my slurps at this point?
We need to just make
We're
one
on
at this point.
episode 19.
Is there like a
I have-
slurp, like a
I've had
slurp counter?
19
Yeah.
slurps.
Yeah, like how many seconds of slurpage you get?
I'm curious
Yeah.
to see which
Yeah.
one's the best
Sure.
one.
Sure.
Do you think this is as far as I can go?
What's like the
This-
most?
I think you can go
What's
further.
the most optimal?
Okay, so
Okay.
That's a good point. What is it? Like, what is I felt like that was pretty optimal in terms of time. Like
It
the
was,
amount-
but I
the
sacrificed-
length of time of
I
the slurp.
sacrificed a little bit of the verboseness and a bit
good
of the
point.
quality. And it wasn't as
This guy is so serious.
This bro is.
it was just like I was slurping soup instead of slurping coffee.
Yeah.
Sure.
There you
Sure.
go.
Which
Yeah.
sounds different.
Yeah. You know, like the difference when you pour cold water into a cup versus hot water. You know, like it
Yes.
sounds
It's
different.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
you know,
that.
cold water is like
Exactly.
but hot
Hot water
like,
has like a softer, has like a softer sound to it. I think
Wow.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Instead of slurping the warm
the
soup, I think it
fidelity
sound
of the slurp
fidelity.
Oh my
There you
gosh.
go.
was
Yeah.
not.
I'm not gonna act like I know
100%
what that word means, but yeah.
Fidelity, I
Yeah.
think it means.
fidelity.
Yeah.
Fidelity.
Oh, definitely.
I looked it up in
Fantastic.
the dictionary.
And it
one
said
time.
fidelity means fidelity.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, the fidelity of this dictionary is pretty cool. Actually.
It's pretty fidel.
I can't
100%.
stand
That's
you.
that's now a word.
I said
Fidel.
I'm leaving,
Fidel.
bro.
Went from that it had some nice fidelity to it. It was very fidel.
It was very fidel, very
It was
very
giving.
fidelity.
Giving
Did
Fidel.
you just say it's giving?
It was giving Fidel.
What? Okay,
giving
okay.
Fidel.
I have
Fidel?
Can I get a t-shirt that
Adele.
says Fidel? Adele? Bro,
Adele.
Adele's pretty fidel. To be
I have a
That's scary.
genuine question.
Like, go right ahead.
What's the phrase? It's giving.
It's
What is
giving.
That, what does that mean?
No, let
I don't.
Ike answer.
No, no,
Ike,
no,
what
no,
does
no,
it
no, no,
mean?
no,
Ike,
no,
you
no.
are the person who's in the hot seat today.
When you hit
well-
when you hit a golf stroke, do you go? It was giving
Nope.
a
No,
bunker.
no, no.
Giving it
Because you,
No,
you added too much.
I have never said that in my entire life, and I strive to maintain that posture.
That's
Okay.
good.
I
Please
will
don't
try
do
to
that.
never say
Yeah.
that in my entire life. From my limited understanding on the term "it's giving,"
Yeah.
it means like it's there's a feeling behind it, like it feels like it's this.
Oh. Okay.
So
Okay.
that's like the
Yeah.
best way that I can kind of translate it.
See, why don't people
interpret
just
it.
say
Fidelity.
it feels like?
Yeah.
But I don't understand sometimes slang.
Mm.
I understand some slang. It's just a shortening of the word, like riz for charisma.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
it's just
That's-
reducing it to
Yeah,
one
yeah.
sentence.
That's an easy
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Yes, it's,
No, that
that's
makes sense.
what I'm
Yeah, that
saying.
makes sense.
I get it.
Mhm.
But it's giving is a whole other way of just saying it feels like.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not shortened. You
Mhm.
have to explain it now.
Yeah, and normally it's combined with other slang,
Yes.
and then I'm just extremely
lost.
confused.
Wait,
yeah.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you mean? It's giving is like.
Kevin,
There's
You
like
don't
there's like an
even know what it
emotion.
means.
It's
yeah, explain it.
no
Mr.
because
Giving Day.
give me 1
Do
second.
you
'cause
have to explain
hold on.
this feels like?
We're gonna let's give him a moment, just a moment,
It's
to be
giving
able
a
to
moment.
explain
No,
what
I
giving.
will definitely do that because it's
Okay.
giving is low key funny to me. Wait,
Well,
it's
you say it
giving-
all the time.
See how it's combined with another slang?
No,
It's
like-
giving is low key.
Yes.
It's like it was combined with another part
Yeah.
of slang. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just that was
Yeah.
what it seems like. It's
Wait,
a
did I
common
say
feature.
that?
Yes.
It's giving low key
And
something.
can you explain low key?
that that would I feel like
low-key
is pretty
versus
easy
high.
to
It's
explain.
It's giving
No,
stupid.
I think we understand it
I took
because that was
stupid
something that
pills
Yeah, I
came
took
out
my
like
stupid pills today.
10 years ago at this point, so we all
fair.
understand it now.
Yeah.
But if they all came out at once, I don't know, from the slang store or whatever.
Hmm.
and-
That's I feel like low key or high key. I feel like high key might be a little bit more recent even than low key, just on a personal.
Hikey.
I say them
Yeah.
both.
In the
I say
personal
them
journey.
both quite often.
Yeah, I feel like low key was kind of came along before
Yeah.
high key.
Yeah,
It did.
absolutely.
I feel like it did.
It's like a counterpart.
Someone
Yeah.
said we
So
need
I
an
could be
opposite.
wrong.
No, you're
Correct,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, we need an
It's
opposite.
giving first.
It's giving is
You almost said it. You almost said it.
just bad.
You almost slipped up.
It just leaves a bitter
Bad
taste
taste
in
in
my
your
If there's like
tongue.
a
You know?
counterpart to
Yeah.
was a low key and high key, there should be like it's giving and it's receiving. You know?
Yo.
Like
It's no,
Are
no.
we the slang store? Is the All for Him
Are we
podcast the slang
inventing?
If
new
we're
slang?
the slang store, we're going out of business.
store? Dude, I
Yo.
hope so.
It's not.
Let's go back to talking.
I just gotta say, I was at the Lion the Lamb Cafe over at Thomas Road Baptist Church. I was getting a
Fantastic
coffee.
spot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love getting
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah,
there.
great spot, great
I go
spot.
there almost every day. And I was behind me were these two kids who go to school at Liberty Christian Academy, LCA.
Yeah.
And I forget what they said, but they were behind me, and he grabs an energy drink, and he says something along the lines of, "No cap, bro. I'm finna crash out if I drink this energy drink for real." He said he
That's
was
a lot.
he was saying some words. I was literally sitting there listening to him. I said, I say some of these things sometimes, but hearing them from somebody else is just.
It's
We
giving
say
you-
them.
not it.
We
It's
say them
not
as a
giving.
joke. We say them.
Yeah, we
as
say-
a
I
not
say it-
giving.
I
It's
don't
not
say
giving.
it.
It's
Wait.
not giving.
It's
No,
not giving.
That got me when you said you were like, it's not giving.
It's not giving.
My fault.
So therefore, it's receiving.
It's receiving. Oh my gosh, that might be it.
Yo, I think
It's
I think-
receiving.
We're back open.
We're-
The Slang Shop is back
Back,
open.
guys,
my
guys,
God.
we're back in business.
We found
We're
our-
so back.
We filed for bankruptcy, but we came back.
We came back. We rose from the ashes.
Absolutely.
back.
We're
It's
like
looking
the,
for success.
we're
Now.
like the Blockbuster of slang. We're getting a second chance.
Is
We got one
Blockbuster
store.
getting a
on-
second
They got a second chance, really?
No, probably
No,
not. But
yeah.
I'm a hopeful person.
But you know how Netflix was like kind of like Blockbuster
Yeah.
and like mail out DVDs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And now it's Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mail out slang.
It is so weird to watch shows from like the early 2000s. And they talk about Netflix and
Mhm.
like deliveries from Netflix. I mean, I was around for when Netflix was
Yeah,
like that, but
uh-huh.
I only got Netflix after they switched to the streaming model.
That's
So
fair.
I'm like, Netflix delivered?
Oh my gosh, you're right. They
Yeah.
did.
They
Uber
did.
Eats Netflix edition?
Yep.
Like, what? What is
That's a good
this?
point. That's a very good point.
It's
Yeah.
just-
No, but didn't you have to like return it too?
Yes. Well, I
Oh
mean,
my
it's no
God.
different.
Yeah.
It was no
How do they
different
keep
from.
track of how?
No, I don't know.
Well,
How
the same
could
way
they-
I guess that
They
Blockbuster
show up
did.
at your door. They're wearing suits. Where's that Despicable Me disc? We need that back.
Yeah. Yeah. I need that here. Where's Group? He needs to be right here.
We need right here.
Right here, right here.
These kids want
Yeah.
that
Well,
disc. It's the only
man,
one we
I
got.
know Pharrell Williams produced a fire album on that one.
Yeah. It
Oh my
But
god.
gotta give it back.
was a fantastic soundtrack.
It
That
was.
was.
Yeah.
Despicable Me for the. I know you heard the rumors.
Boom.
That
Oh, yeah.
song that goes. Oh my god. Did I hit
I
that?
forgot about that. Yeah, that was pretty
Kevin,
good. That was
where's
solid.
your cover? Where's
That
your
was
cover
solid.
of that song?
I know you heard the rumors.
Yo.
It's right there.
That was it?
Can
Was
we
that-
all
was it?
sing
Alright,
it
can
in
we, like,
harmony?
recite that?
Can we all sing it in harmony right now?
I know
my
the.
God.
I know
Wait,
you
where
know the
was
rumors.
it?
No, I know you heard the rumors.
I know you heard the
Yeah,
rumors.
ready? Let's all do it.
Alright.
Guys, you need to count down.
No, we need to
okay?
count down.
All
Okay,
right,
okay.
all right, all right.
Okay,
On three or on one?
On-
Wait a minute, this is something that trips people up. This is something that trips people up.
Okay.
This is something that trips people
Okay,
up.
okay, on one. Okay.
On one. All
Wait,
right,
so does
go
that
ahead.
mean 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Is it
It's on
one?
one.
No,
It's on what we
it's
say.
like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm ready, I'm ready.
All right.
I know
think-
you heard the
Yeah.
rumors.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, on three.
Like,
or
is
on
that
one?
all we're
I
saying?
lost it.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
after one.
Hold on.
Just
Okay,
after
let-
one.
after one.
Okay. Let me pull up the song. Hold on.
But
Okay.
no,
No,
it's
it's all
only
good.
like the first 6 words.
Facts.
Like
Facts.
that's it.
So easy.
That's
Okay,
not
okay,
even the
okay,
first.
okay, all right.
It's
got
like
it,
in
you
the-
got
at the end
All
of the
right,
song.
all right. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
I know you heard the rumors.
Yeah!
There we go.
Boys,
Guys, that took like 5 minutes to do.
Amazing.
we're starting a band. If we were a
Let's
band,
stay away from that.
if we-
We'll stick to this. We'll stick to this. This is good. This is
basement?
very good.
You're
Yeah.
saying we can only be productive in our basement?
I was talking about this room specifically. This
Yeah,
room is a very
being the
productive room.
basement.
At least it feels like it's productive now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
outside of this room, nothing else gets done.
Nothing.
Yeah, legit.
The house is just blank. We haven't even painted it.
Facts.
Moved
It's just
furniture.
plywood. Yeah.
Bro, future
yeah, it's
Charles
just
rated
drywall.
that 5 out of 10, bro. Our producer Charles.
Still think
Producer
you're-
Charles did not
Shout
like
out Charles.
Shout out Charles.
Shout out Charles.
Love you
Charles,
guys there.
wherever he is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
that. Amazing.
Also, I just gotta ask Kevin, do you want your heart to explode?
Yes. With
Bro,
joy.
this is a foul combination.
I mean,
I
come on,
mean,
that was
Bro,
solid. That
do you
was
know
solid.
how jealous I am that you get to sit beside him? I just want to say,
Man,
just
like I just want to give Ike the biggest hug this whole time.
Why
but,
don't you
like,
guys
I'm
just
holding
all sit in the
myself
same
back.
frame?
This feels like
time?
this feels like some glaze at Blaze right now.
Oh my gosh,
Dude,
dude!
something's telling
Producer
me
Charles just
it's
said that
giving
too.
glaze.
It's
Wow,
giving
he put
glaze.
glaze on that. Wow, wow, wow. That was
Absolutely.
Krispy Kreme donut because that
That
was
was.
glazed.
All right. Okay.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
You know the
God.
snap. You know the snap.
Have you ever heard "Life's a Dream" Krispy Kreme?
No, I've heard the.
Oh no, nobody has that.
Is
The-
that from the 1950s song?
Heard the "Life Can Be a
I'm
Dream"
sorry,
song
that was
from
from-
Cars.
Life is a
No,
wait,
no,
wrong
Life
one.
could be a dream.
Shaboom and I can take you on paradise up above. Shaboom and I can tell you I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart.
Boo-ba-doo, boo,
This is before we get
boo-doo.
copyright striked on this video.
Good
No,
point,
they
good
just
point.
they cuss to us. We're just
It's just Charles.
Charles, no,
Guys,
he has
I
to
feel
put
like-
in some
I-
generic
I feel
song.
like if Charles was listening to us, he would give that probably like
Sure.
a 6 out of 5 out of 10.
facts.
6 out of 5 out of 10.
6 out of 5 out of 10.
6
So
out
I
of
don't
5
even know
out
how
of
that shakes out.
6 out of
If-
5 out of 10.
If that
Dude,
was,
it's a
if that was a
Charles
6
metric.
out of 5 out of 10,
6 out of 5 out of 10.
Bro, I thought I was the homeschooled
Perfect.
one here who didn't understand math.
Perfect.
No, I'm just the film student who doesn't understand.
Oh,
that.
valid,
I went to
valid.
school for it.
Valid. Oh
For-
my god.
for math,
No.
no,
I
for
went
film.
For film.
That's
I
good.
went to film
If-
school to get out of math.
That's a great point.
I mean, that's amazing.
that's a very fair
My
point.
last math class was 2 or 3 years ago at this point.
Sure.
Never looked back.
It's good.
My last class, you know, he said, I just finished taking the exam, and he said, "Are you done?" And I looked up at him. I said, "Yes."
And then
you
it
weren't
cut
just
to
done
like
with.
Yes.
cut to who's the composer that does like all the Christopher Nolan movies?
John
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer. It cuts to like a
Boom, 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 boom.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it cuts to the oh my goodness, I can't
Like
remember.
the math symbols like coming towards the person. That one lady's going,
Yeah.
Just-
It's like you figure out all the it's like, oh, it makes sense to me now. It's,
Oh
just,
my
it's all
Lord.
coming to me now.
Okay, I think we talked about this before, but I gotta ask you, what is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh my
so,
gosh.
okay, all right. So actually, recently we did like a little. It's called like behind the greens instead of behind the scenes
Wow. that
Oh.
is
for Liberty Golf.
that's so clever.
I think, you know,
Man,
very
How long did it
very
take them to
clever.
figure
It's like a
it out?
team.
Probably
thing?
about 30 seconds.
did they
It's
AI
a thing.
generate that title?
They could have.
Hey,
But-
Chat GPT.
What's a good
Sponsor
golf
us.
title?
Sponsor.
Behind the greens.
Sponsor.
Behind the greens. I like
Behind the
I like
greens.
behind the greens.
Behind the
Okay,
greens.
okay.
So one of the questions they asked me was, "What's your favorite movie?" So I said, and I will stand by because this was like 2 days ago.
Fair.
Shawshank Redemption is right up there. Fantastic movie.
Yes.
I have plenty of movies on my list that I know will be up there once I watch them.
You just
Yes.
have to watch.
Exactly. I just have to watch them.
Mm.
I mentioned then, I will definitely mention now, the first time that I ever watched Avengers Infinity War.
Okay.
It was opening night
Yep.
in the theater.
Yep.
I got there, it was me and my dad. We got there like 20 minutes before the movie started. And we had the last 2 seats that we could see that were just like, you know, the neck
nosebleeds.
breakers, but like the ones right up front where you're just like looking up at the screen like
Oh
that.
yeah, and then
Exactly.
he's
Distortion
Yeah.
of
like a
it.
crimson chin.
Yeah.
Captain America is just like his face is just
Yeah.
absolutely.
The meme of
It's like 20
Oppenheimer
feet.
where you're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Chris Evans hit him with the Avengers.
each other. Avengers Assemble.
No,
Well, you got it.
no, you're exactly right. So like we were like 4 rows down from the top, like all the way on the left side, and it just remember because you're like everybody's like dead
Lumps.
quiet for a
Yeah.
lot of the movie, and then like when it gets hyped, like everybody's hyped, like oh yeah, let's go, like people are cheering, they're clapping, and then like in the movie comes when Thanos like he snaps,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's gone, and everybody there's like this like somber like realization of what actually happened.
Right.
You're like, what? Like where's
Where's
the
the
where's the other part to this movie? Like where's when
And then
the
ends,
good
yeah.
guys win? But obviously like you wait until Endgame and then
whole
no
year.
spoilers.
It-
no spoilers.
Dude, I mean, it's been
You
like
know.
6 years.
Yeah, at this
Yeah.
point, if you
Yeah,
haven't
I mean I
seen
did
it,
just spoil it completely
Yeah, you
spoil
just, like,
Infinity
took-
War.
that
I mean, you didn't talk about how Spider-Man died.
That's a good point. I didn't talk about
You
that.
didn't talk
He
about-
does.
So crazy.
About how.
He literally turns to dust
Yeah,
in
he
Iron
says-
Man's arms.
like
Okay,
that.
so did you
I
get
don't feel so
spoiled
good.
for that?
No. No.
You went in there totally.
Did you avoid spoilers?
I
how?
avoided.
So jealous.
I avoided everything
That's crazy.
except for one thing. I was told it was like the day before I was going to go see it, and people were looking up like leaked rumors and this and that whatever. And one of my buddies was like, "Hey, it's like some of your favorite people die in this movie." I said, "No." I said, "I'm not talking to you anymore." I said, "I don't want to hear
You
it."
shut it down immediately.
I said, "I don't want to hear it. I want to just watch this movie to watch this movie." And that was the best movie experience I've had. Shawshank is a better movie in my opinion than that, but that one's up there best viewing experience for sure I've ever watched.
It's definitely our Empire Strikes Back.
I agree.
It was
great
so
point.
Great point. I
Great
might
point.
be a little controversial in saying this, but I think the hype or just the time surrounding Infinity War, I think it was better than Endgame, because Endgame we all knew what was going to happen. We all knew it was going to happen.
It's like they're going to somehow find a way. They're going to win. Yeah.
And of course, everyone. I feel like even more people went to go see Endgame. That's because of Infinity War, though.
That's true.
Right,
That's
because of
built
the
up
cliffhanger.
that hype.
You're right.
Yeah.
No.
And Infinity War was really the culmination of 10 years. Because,
Yeah.
it literally was the 10-year movie, because I remember the Marvel logo had the 10 in there.
Yeah.
And then Infinity
From
War.
Iron Man
didn't
to
have
Infinity War,
yes,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
2008 to 2018.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I feel like the movie, I think the movie's just better. It's just a better movie. And I remember going to see that with I think it was my 9th grade English class. We just went. We went to go see the movie.
Wow.
And it was the most. I went to see that movie 4 times. I got
I saw
spoiled.
it twice.
I got spoiled for it before I went to go see it, though.
That's so.
The first
But
time?
It's very
Oh,
impressive.
I mean,
but it didn't ruin it.
No.
It was still
Because
good.
there was so much more to the movie.
Yes, than
You
just
know.
people dying. When
This is
Loki
true.
died, though, I was like,
You're like,
"Oh, this is gonna be one of those."
No,
Yeah,
I
this is
remember
definitely
those
not like
first
Who's
10
Your Man.
minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I said,
Yeah.
oh, this is getting
they're on that
serious.
ship or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
He's just like, "You will never be a Sigma." I was like, "Yeah, I felt that."
Man, more slang.
Mm. Absolutely.
We're
For
tripling
the
down.
Gen Alphas out there.
I was about to say that one. I somewhat marginally barely understand.
I don't know.
I don't
where it
understand
comes
it at all.
from. I mean,
I know.
Sigma's a number. Sigma is
a number?
literally part of the
It's
Greek
Greek.
alphabet.
Yeah. Okay.
What is it? What is it?
And we use it as a number.
There's
Like,
no
what
way
number?
we're discussing what sigmas are, bro.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea what they are, but that can also remain just true to that.
Yeah, let's keep it that way.
That's okay. If it remains like that, that's okay. I have no problem with that.
I gotta say, my favorite movie theater experience of all time was going to Avengers Endgame after that hype of Infinity War.
Sure.
I went with literally so many people, and I remember just the scene where Captain America picks up the hammer
Yep.
and then he swings it and he uppercuts Thanos. I literally jumped out of my chair and I pumped my fist. I
Thor,
said, yeah!
Then Thor was like, "I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was so hyped.
Yeah. That might have been, if you're talking about just like a scene or just like a
this is
moment,
so beautiful.
that might have been the best, just for sheer fan service.
Yes.
Because you saw it budge in Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
You saw
Age of Ultron,
you saw
yeah.
it budge.
And then
So
there were just theories.
you're like, there's something to it. There's something to
Yeah,
you know, there's a little
he's
something to
cooking
it.
something.
And
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
it lift
uh-huh.
off the ground in Endgame, and you don't
Mhm.
know who's picking it up,
Yeah,
but you get a
yeah.
feeling. And it's like boom, boom,
Uh-huh.
and then Thanos pressing down on Thor with his sword
Yeah.
thing, whatever. And it's like, oh no, it can't be Thor. Who's doing it?
Yeah.
And then he just comes back to Cap, and it's just like,
No, and then
Yeah,
when he throws
yeah.
the shield and
Yeah.
then he
And
throws
then-
the hammer and he goes,
yeah.
boom! I was just, I said, that's so sick!
It was
That
crazy,
shield
too,
could
when
just do impossible things.
He
That's
also
fantastic.
struck down lightning himself.
Yeah.
that was
He brought it down with
fire.
boom.
so he
yeah.
had the power of Thor. So he was freaking the god of thunder for a sec there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Remember-
Thor, there was also, what was the other one? What's it called? Stormbreaker?
Storm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stormbreaker.
So this is bringing so much
I know.
I remember
This is the
watching
nostalgia
YouTube
episode.
videos of just I haven't since. I watched the Spider-Man movies
Yeah,
whatever that come out
yeah,
since.
I've-
Those
But
are
I'm
solid.
thoughtful.
No Way Home, great movie.
Yeah, I
Great
agree.
movie.
Although it
Yeah,
relies a
movie,
lot
yeah.
on nostalgia.
It does.
Yes.
does.
Which unfortunately now all the Marvel movies I
They
think will
really
just
do.
kind of be
It's
like
just what they
doing a
do
little bit of
because
that.
I mean, if you think about it, that's what Deadpool just did. I mean, they just
Fair.
used Wolverine and
Yeah.
That was I
Fantastic
had a
Four.
fun time watching
Yeah,
that
it was
movie, though.
fun, but that's what it relied on.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
yeah.
and then what was
Doctor Strange.
Doctor
too.
Strange?
Oh,
yeah, they're using
yeah.
the fan.
That was a little-
L movie.
That one I was looking forward to seeing.
That fell
Yeah,
flat
yeah.
for me. I remember
it did.
halfway through, I was thinking, wow.
He started using like music, like musical notes. And just
Yeah.
like you lost me there.
I
dog.
know, it was so crazy.
I just
I had such
I
high
was just
hopes
not
for
feeling
that
it.
movie.
Yeah.
There's a, he has to be like more of a horror movie.
I was like, oh,
like
It's
you know
gonna be
more.
scary. though.
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't
mean,
scary,
good,
no, it
wasn't.
literally.
and then Scarlet Witch just sucked in that. They made her a bad guy.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
and it relied so much on like the TV show.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
what if
I
you
didn't
haven't
watch.
seen the TV show?
I had watched the TV show, but I was
Yeah.
still just.
You're like, this doesn't
But
really. make
it still
sense.
was
Yeah.
a jump
Yeah.
from the TV show.
Yeah, it still was.
And
I
like
was
her whole motivation is, and not to get like super nerdy here, but like
It's okay.
she has like not real kids
Correct.
in the show.
Yeah.
And so her whole motivation is to go find somewhere where her not real kids are real.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's got to like, who does she have to kill to do that? Does she have to kill anybody for that, or is
I don't know if
just,
she had to
like-
kill anybody.
I
She
don't
just had to like
remember
go.
it hardly.
Well,
I
wait.
don't remember.
Maybe she had to kill like their real mom or whoever that was, like in that
But why does that tie in Doctor Strange?
dimension. Because it like multiverse.
It just didn't
and
seem
something-
like-
I don't.
To
I
explain
didn't- I
anything
don't
now, they're
know.
just
Like,
multiverse.
you know, there's so much just like
Like it-
stuff, just
Yeah.
unnecessary stuff.
Yeah,
that
it's
I
crazy.
just,
It's like the
I
next-
didn't need to hear it.
The next
you know?
Captain America movie, guys. It's gonna be a multiversal
gosh.
story.
Oh yeah. I might go see it just because.
Oh, I mean, I'll go.
I
see
love
it.
Harrison Ford. I think Harrison Ford's a great actor. I kind of want to see him.
I think it's cool. It's like was
Red
he the
Hulk.
president or something like that? And he's
He-
Red Hulk.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
he's general. Yeah, he's.
He was-
boss.
He's like the
Ross.
president in this movie. or
Yeah,
something
he's
like
the
that.
president.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, something
Now,
like that.
I'm-
I'm out of the loop with the TV show.
Yeah.
I literally since Endgame, and like you,
Yeah, I
I've kind
haven't
of just watched one or two of them
Mhm.
on occasion. But since I think Endgame for me was kind of my
A jumping off point.
yeah, I was
Because that was the culmination of like
Yeah.
all the movies, 10 years.
yeah,
then all the
10
movies that came
years.
before
I
it.
grew up with them.
Yeah.
and
And-
all that.
It just, it's not the same
It's not.
afterwards. And
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's just how it
but,
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you have the 10 movies.
Yeah.
Or
You
not
have
the 10
the
movies. There's
10
like
years.
20.
There's a
There's
lot
like
of
20
movies.
Yeah, there's 20 in between that.
Yeah.
And hey, I just watched my Christopher Nolan movies now, and that's what I.
Interstellar, man.
Oh my gosh!
We literally we
Interstellar,
watched that the
that.
other. So I've seen it before. He hadn't
Mhm.
seen it.
No, I
and-
have.
Oh
seen
wait, you seen it
Interstellar.
before?
I just didn't remember anything from
And
it.
we watched it, and oh my gosh,
Crazy
I
movie.
was literally just.
Inception makes Interstellar look like child's play too. Like
The-
we're
oh.
going inside of a dream, inside of another dream, inside of a dream,
It's-
inside of that dream.
It's so
Yeah.
weird how Christopher
What?
Nolan, he can take like just ridiculous concepts but make them feel so grounded and real. And it's just
Yeah.
He's
like,
very good at that.
and you're just like, you're not even thinking, and then you're like, wait a
Bending
minute,
the
this is a
world to where
fantasy
like
movie.
the skylines like on top, like
Yeah,
it's like on the
amazing.
ceiling. Yeah, and you're just like,
Amazing.
what? Like how are their buildings like pointing
You
down
know,
at me now?
You don't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't at this point think that's impressive because you can just do that like with VFX any day. But for some reason, just the way he shoots it,
It
it's
just
like
feels
it's
more
so
impressive.
which is
impressive.
insane.
it's
Yeah.
just.
And
I wanna
obviously,
do
like
that one day.
Oppenheimer was, I thought that it was a fantastic movie, bar
I love
a couple of
Oppenheimer.
specific instances that don't need.
were a couple
they don't really need to
scenes-
be named.
Yeah.
They-
I think everybody
It's like
kind
if
of.
you-
we know,
if you
we
know,
all
you
know.
know.
Yeah,
but
correct.
I saw
yeah.
it with him and
You're just
two
like-
of my other friends.
Wait,
and we were.
no, I didn't go.
You.
I went with
That's
Two
right.
of my other This is crazy, but two of my other friends. But like I
Yeah.
didn't mean it like that. It's
W
like,
housemate.
Okay, crazy. But like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
Should have gone with us.
I already
You
feel
just-
like there's gonna be like rage, but I thought that movie was so boring.
Really?
Well, okay, it was like 3 hours.
It was unbearable.
It was like
for
you
me.
were. It was like you were instead of. How to describe it? It's like you were watching a book. Like you were watching a book that was being read out to you.
Facts.
And also,
Out
if
of
you
order.
if you don't really care about history or anything to do with like the Manhattan Project, like I'm
I love that.
kind of a history nerd.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
love
just-
history.
Yeah,
Huge
like that,
ones.
I kind of, especially like like military history to some
Yeah.
point.
We can
Oh,
talk.
wow.
Yeah, like that's
Oh my
like
gosh.
that's more my area. Now, granted,
Absolutely.
most of my information does come from YouTube,
Yeah.
as does most people
Bro, he's a
Yeah.
YouTube scholar.
I mean, that's so
on the
valid.
low key.
Low key.
Yo.
Little slangs, just a little,
I mean,
just a
bro, you
little
brought it
low
up.
key.
Now it's like high key.
Bro, he's. Oh.
Now it's high key because
He's
it's a
high
mention.
key.
Yeah,
a
exactly.
historian.
What if it's
Before it was
mid-key?
like a-
I'm high key a YouTube historian.
Low
Oh my
key,
gosh.
a real historian.
Low key an amateur
See?
historian.
Yeah.
There's levels to it. There's levels to
this,
it.
bro.
I like it.
I didn't know.
Mhm.
It's like an
Levels by
onion.
DC.
Oh my gosh.
The-
looking
The
at
more,
it.
yeah, exactly, like a glass onion.
Great movie.
Glass Onion.
Knives
did
Out
not like
was
that
Knives Out was better in my opinion.
I love
the
Knives
first
Out.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Knives
that
Out was
one
very
was
good.
great.
Yes.
Why are you putting your hands out there like, please don't hurt me? I liked Knives Out.
I talk with my hands
like
That's
so
okay.
much.
Please,
It
I
literally-
Talk with the hands.
Talk with, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean,
got.
I do not know sign language whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not. You know.
I'm not even gonna
Sorry
try.
to all the signers out there. I just like had a spasm there.
Yeah, you like cursed them all out.
Yeah,
right there.
I guess I did. I don't
Why
even
is
know
the
what I
furniture
said.
floating? Bro, put the table. What have I done?
My bad,
We
guys.
start floating. Yeah.
I forgot my aunt is 11 from Stranger Things.
Crazy. Dr. Ordinary's in the room
Mm.
and he's just hitting them.
It's
So,
my bad, kid.
I gotta put you on something.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Put me on
so
it.
Kevin and I have been watching Severance on Apple
Facts.
TV since it first came out, pretty much. We've been watching it for a while. Season 2
You haven't
just
watched
came
it?
out.
What is it? I have
Okay,
no idea.
okay. It's an office thriller. It's an office workplace thriller. So
Thriller. Okay.
it's
All
a
right.
very unique concept.
Sure.
Oh my gosh! So it's written and produced by Ben Stiller. So great. Adam Scott from Parks and Rec is the main actor in it.
Okay.
Literally, it just blows my mind every time I watch it because it's so unique and because you've always had the office workplace comedies. An office thriller is
I was like The Office, and then there's like Suits, which is kind of
Yes.
like its own
yeah, it's
thing.
its own thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's its
yeah,
own thing.
yeah. But
yeah, Severance.
Okay.
Severance is amazing. Kevin and I have been watching it for a while, and literally it's about the only thing I have time to watch right now. We tried to watch it. We watched the newest episode last night,
Man.
And it's really interesting. I've only seen one episode, but they use our cameras, Sony cameras.
they
To
filmed
shoot the
with
whole
this.
thing.
They filmed
Wait,
scenes
okay,
with this. The
I-
hallway scene was filmed with this camera.
I've at least seen something about that. To where
Yeah.
there's an entire Apple TV show just like filmed on not basic
Yeah.
by any means cameras, but not
But
like these
accessible
big
ones.
fat like rigs that like you're like shooting through like this, like
Well, there are some
know.
parts fit that are. They're shot on the big Venice.
yes,
Venice
it's on
2.
Venice. Yeah,
But
okay.
it's just there are a lot of scenes that aren't that are shot
That are
on
shot with
prosumer cameras.
these cameras. Look at the camera. Look at this camera. Ike, that camera was used on.
That exact camera.
That's
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
that exact one.
That's the camera.
That's
yeah,
it.
That's
yeah.
the
That's
thing.
the
They
exact.
gave it
They
to us.
borrowed it. They
Ben-
came to the
Ben
house and borrowed
came
it.
to borrow-
by,
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, hey guys, I need to borrow a camera. I have no idea if that's how he talks.
We
That's
have just the thing.
that's just
that camera
how he
right there.
talks.
So- well-
Yeah.
Caleb has an
Yeah.
NDA. He can't talk about
Yeah.
it. Adam
But
Scott
I
came
can't.
to him personally and said, "We need your camera, Caleb."
You
Said,
specifically.
Yes,
"Hey,
you
Caleb,
specifically
I need to
would.
borrow a camera from you.
And I said,
need to
all
borrow it."
right, more power to you. Take it.
I
for
said,
a little-
thank you.
There you go.
I
It's
said,
gonna
I
be
just
very
need it
useful.
back before I shoot this music video, of course.
That's a
Of
good
course,
point.
Caleb. Yeah,
That's a very good point.
We will
Yeah.
have this back to you very, very soon.
Yes. They drop it from
That's
a
pretty
helicopter.
good. I mean, I watched him a lot in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
so
Uh-huh.
I've got a good impression of it at this point.
He's good at impressions. He really is.
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson,
Ron
yeah.
Swanson.
What?
Is that Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
Yes.
Parks and Rec.
Okay, I've never seen that. There you
It's
go.
Parks
okay.
and Rec is really funny.
Name?
It's consistently good.
Rod.
I just love The
Yeah.
Office.
Last name?
Oh.
Done.
Yeah.
That was-
Are you done with this conversation, or is that your last name?
Oh, wait,
Like,
what? Oh,
Both.
Both.
Yeah. It's like
Done and
yeah.
done.
Hmm.
Mm.
And then it cuts over to like
Yes.
it's like I like Ron.
It's
It's just like that. It's just that shot. Yeah, yeah, and he's like,
I no longer like Ron.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Man.
The meat tornado. Or
Meat tornado. It's a whole new meat delivery system.
bugging.
Bro.
I've never watched Parks and Rec.
Watch
My
it.
family has like always been the type to watch The Office. Like
The
we will-
Office is
We
good.
will watch it to the
Yeah.
day we die. Like,
I
that's
love
the
that.
thing.
Please
it.
watch
Fair.
I feel,
That's
but
fair.
I feel like I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like a Jersey thing or like any place thing, but it's either you one or the other.
I don't feel
But do
not
you-
here.
Not
I
here?
think Parks and Rec's a bit different. It's not as much
Okay.
like The Office is more
Very
cringe
awkward,
comedy.
cringe humor,
It's more
yeah.
just like, wow, this actually does happen in real life, and then sometimes life gets
Mhm.
very awkward, and
Yeah.
this is literally the show about it.
And there
Yeah.
are elements
know.
of that sometimes in Parks and Rec, but Parks and Rec, the characters on there are much bigger caricatures. And just
Okay.
more exaggerated.
Mhm.
The Office, a lot of them start off pretty realistic.
Mhm.
Like the only
And then it
one,
just kind of moves.
yeah, they moves that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
But
sure.
in Parks and Rec, they start off. there.
Okay, I
Like,
didn't
It's
know.
fair. It's more your traditional, you
yeah,
know.
comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
It just
Yeah,
has that
okay.
format.
Maybe I have to check it out because
Where you start watching, and I will come and watch movies with you.
really
Yes.
okay. We
That's the
might have to do
motivation
that.
right there.
If he has
That's
a
solid
I
motivation.
can join us too, bro.
I can absolutely.
Blaze
That'd be a
Pizza
joy.
date round 2.
Blaze.
Blaze.
Well, popcorn.
Oh.
Also, question
Bro,
question to ask y'all.
Okay.
Oh.
Question for
okay,
y'all.
On the
Okay,
hot
okay.
seat.
Favorite movie snack.
Oh,
Include
That's a
so
great
so make,
question.
couple items.
Okay.
Nothing
Okay, so
too
it's like-
nothing too crazy. A couple items.
Okay.
And then a drink.
I've got immediately.
go.
I've got my
wait.
answer.
So I'm gonna go first, real quick.
All right, bro, you go first.
He just cut you off.
Wait, but like you should go.
Okay.
So mine is actually. I always get.
It's perfect. Go ahead.
I always get a large popcorn.
Yeah,
And I bring
yeah.
like my own drink or I sneak it in.
Sure.
Always. But that I'm so plain for that. All right, go
What do
ahead.
you? Hold on. What? I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, it's
you
all good, it's
you
all
didn't-
good.
You didn't explain your drink. You just bring a drink. What's
You said
the
a-
drink?
Okay. So great
Yeah.
question.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay,
like.
so
Oh
basically-
my God.
No.
Cut
it's
off
okay,
to cut.
it's
They
okay,
can
it's
cut.
okay.
Being cut
No,
off.
so
to
like-
cut.
So
Like do you know
Conception.
Mio? Like Mio the.
Oh, the little thing you squirt in like water or something like that. Yeah.
I
Okay,
bring,
sure.
I bring that everywhere. So that's
Fair
my
enough.
drink.
Not
Okay,
to the
okay.
movies.
Yes, absolutely.
No,
Well,
not
it's
to the
convenient. He
It's
just slide
because-
in his pocket.
It's because no.
That's like
Facts. No, but because here in Lynchburg
Yeah.
they're so lenient. You can just like bring in like a whole jug and they'll just it's fine.
Bring in a whole Happy Meal. Yeah, you're good.
You're
yeah,
good.
exactly.
You're
Well,
good.
he's
Bring-
probably gonna start doing
Bring a
that.
Chipotle bag.
Chipotle.
Eating my burrito.
Just
bowl.
eating your bowl,
Oh,
just
I
like right in
dropped
Oh,
front.
you dropped the fidgeter.
Crap.
He got it back. You're good.
Anyway, so
Got it. All right, you should like go ahead and tell me your order.
no, it's Caleb's.
Okay, Caleb. Go right
Okay,
ahead.
I have done this.
So basic.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, so
Please go ahead.
I have done this for years.
Mhm.
Oh, Unc
For
has
years.
done it for years.
For years.
bruh.
How many? Like 20? Since you started working at the factory down the road?
Wait, go ahead.
The old factory down the
Do you
road.
see what I have to deal with on a regular
No.
basis?
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand it now.
Yeah, old. They think I'm old,
Understand.
even though he's older than me. He still calls me Unc, which is crazy.
It's
Okay,
about the spirit, not the outside.
It
so like
really is.
spiritually, I'm like so young. Him,
He's
Bro's
like
40.
50.
Yes.
that was so insulting. Oh my god!
Hey,
Wow.
If the boot fits.
Bro's worn a couple boots.
it's not if the what's the
Bro's worn a couple
shoe
military
fits.
boots.
That's like
During
for
the
Cinderella or
Civil
something
War.
like that.
Yeah.
No,
facts.
maybe.
World War One.
2.
God,
Were you there in Vietnam
God.
for a vacation?
God.
Bro,
I mean, this is this is open. This is
Yo, yo,
this is open
do you want me to
slander.
reload the gun for you while you're at it? Boom, 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 boom. That's what you want the ammo? There you go. Just give you more. You want to give me my walking cane? Put me in the nursing home. Why don't you? Bro, I'm telling you, bro. AARP called me today and said, yo, you ready to get in the nursing home, Caleb? You're ripe old age, you are. Get in your wheelchair. We're pushing you out.
We've hit a spot. We've hit a spot. We've hit a spot. Hold on.
crashing
Whoa. Whoa.
Caleb, wait,
Whoa.
hold on.
Whoa.
Caleb.
Whoa.
Wait.
The veins in your head. They're just
popping.
Bro,
Calm down, your
bro,
blood
you're
pressure's
steaming,
too
isn't
high.
it?
This has been simmering for years.
Yes, it.
Facts.
Well, how
Years.
many? We've only been alive for a little bit.
God, no, you're supposed to be on my
It's
side.
been simmering for decades.
For decades.
No.
Millennia.
Centuries.
This has been simmering
Wait.
for at least
Hold
a
on.
few
no,
hours.
Caleb, calm down. Okay, I'm not going to make an unk joke. I'm not. I'm just asking a question, okay? Like an actual legit question.
Uh-huh.
I swear.
I swear.
Okay.
Okay.
This is not going to be a legit question.
It will. I
All
promise.
right, I'm ready.
We need silence for
So,
this.
yes, we do. So, putting away the World War II nonsense, whatever. Was Adam a nice guy?
There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Was Adam a nice guy?
Was he? Was he cool?
Yeah, he was my best friend.
He all,
But
we
you
all
were
went to
there
school
before
together.
he was, right?
Oh,
Wait, that means you're. That feels like some heresy.
No.
That means
yeah,
you're Jesus?
Yeah.
No.
Before Adam was.
All right, let me answer my
Hold on,
favorite
hold on.
movie theater snack.
We went in a massive
Yeah,
tangent.
I just felt like crashing out there for a second.
Huge
I mean,
tangent.
that was so warranted, bro.
Yeah.
It was fairly warranted.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, did you get it off your chest?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. Was that?
Look, you have temper issues.
No,
as
like
you get
that was like
older.
a legit question. Like he's like feeling it. Like,
No, I actually.
like that was
Now-
like suppressed for a while.
We're all good. We're all good. No more. No unk jokes. No, none of that. What is your movie snack
Oh my
and
gosh.
drink of choice, or movie snacks?
So, I have done this for a while.
years?
Yes.
That's fine.
For
That's fine.
years.
Yeah.
I have always got a large popcorn
Sure.
with extra butter
Sure.
and white cheddar seasoning.
Fantastic.
It
Yeah.
is literally
Like the Orville Redenbacher, like the
yes,
white shit. Yep.
yes.
I know.
It-
Yeah.
it goes
It goes down.
hard.
Mhm.
It goes so hard.
There's some more slang. Yep.
Yeah.
It goes crazy.
It goes crazy. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
so that
Oh, my mama.
Mommies.
all right.
Nah.
What?
Nah.
I said handshake retracted.
No, we dabbed. I
So,
want the camera to
yeah,
see.
yeah,
We
yeah,
dabbed.
yeah,
We dabbed.
absolutely.
That
That one?
camera's got
Which
that
one?
one?
No, that one. That one right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I typically, when I used to drink soda, I would always get, something good. But
Sure thing.
Producer Charles, man.
Producer Charles.
PTSD flared up.
Mr. Charles with just the
Yeah.
zinger.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now I will. I'll either bring a coffee with me to the theater,
sure.
or I'll just get water.
Yeah, yeah. If you bring
I
a
drink
coffee,
a ton of
you gotta
water.
stay awake.
Yeah.
Like some movies are.
I have a good attention
Boring
span.
these days.
I literally.
Some can be.
It's so freaking bad.
They just don't know
I-
how to tell stories.
Unfortunately, some
will,
Marvel
like-
movies can be a little, Yeah.
I will die on this hill. I love drinking water. I feel like
Yes,
there should
absolutely.
there should be movies that just have an intermission. For the love of God.
They used to do that.
Like
They used
just
to
to
do
go
that.
to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Please,
Let's
because
do that.
I sit through 2 hours of like the worst movie of all time, and I have to pee so bad. But then I'm thinking in my
Sure.
mind, I'm like,
What are you gonna miss?
The last half hour might be peak.
Correct.
Yeah.
It could be, and you would have missed it.
That's how
you
it was.
You might have missed the,
I
the
always
best
think
moment.
that
a couple
way.
Oh
years
my
ago.
gosh.
Yep. I always think that
Yeah.
way.
Why are you saying no as you're saying I do? You're like saying you're doing a negative with the face, but saying a positive.
Dang, low key.
It was just.
I always do that.
He also could have been. He could have been looking at us.
I was. That's what I do. I look back and forth like that.
I'll definitely come to his defense in this moment. He could have been doing that, or he genuinely could have been just shaking his head. Absolutely, that's exactly what he
The
was doing.
mysteries of Caleb will
No
never
shot.
understand.
Great.
Can I come
shot.
over today? Absolutely, bro. Feel free to pull up.
Dude,
Yeah.
anytime you need.
What messages are we sending here?
I don't know. I'm getting mixed messages here.
I'm getting.
I'm confused as I speak. I don't know what
This
I
is
want.
fair.
Yeah.
This is very fair.
I think my movie combo
Yeah.
is just kind of basic.
Oh my gosh, I
It's
forgot
just-
you didn't say yours.
I did. There's so much.
This is
that's
so
happening.
crazy.
There's a lot has been happening.
It's
now,
almost
yeah.
not even worth
Mhm.
it. Just popcorn, Snickers, Sprite.
Yeah,
That's it.
hey, that's
Keep it
fantastic.
simple.
Yeah.
That's a solid combo.
You know the little like the Snickers ice cream bars. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
those
Yes.
are so good.
I've tried
Those
to
are
stay
good.
away from those
Quite good.
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. Like if I start eating those, if you put caramel in anything,
Caramel.
Oh my gosh, he did not. Let's just
Where are you from?
Continue talking.
Georgia.
Georgia.
Lynchburg, Virginia.
So I don't know if Lynchburg is like truly in the South or not.
We're kind of
Georgia
in the middle.
is.
Mm.
I'm from North Carolina. My accent doesn't come out too much, but when I say North Carolina, you can hear a little bit, hear a little something. I use y'all a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use y'all?
Yes.
Fantastic. Do you use y'all?
No, I typically say you all.
I think this is why this is the caramel versus caramel. I think that's the same sort of debate that could be had. Pecans.
It's pecan.
It's pecan. Okay.
Oh,
so
Oh,
I
is
do-
it pecan? What about pecan pie?
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Yeah.
So I'll say pecans, but I'll say pecan pie.
See,
Interesting.
You might.
Mm-hmm.
A
Yeah,
lot of my
yeah.
family members do that too. We don't say pecans.
Yeah, we don't say pecans. No,
but
it's
they
pecans.
do say pecan pie.
Yeah.
And see, but I think the caramel / caramel debate, I don't even know if that's on southern northern lines because there is a second A in there. It's
is.
not
It's
caramel.
C-A-R-A. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
caramel. At
Uh,
most,
No,
it's
no,
caramel.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's caramel. Usually, as a southern fellow myself, we like
Oh
to
my
roll.
gosh.
We like to roll,
Roll
a
in
lot
the
of
long
our.
gate.
You like to
Mhm,
just
the
speed
vowels.
it.
We like
Yeah.
to speed them up
Speed 'em up.
sometimes, but in this
'Cause you-
case,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying the whole word. It's
Yeah.
caramel.
Caramel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but yeah, agree to disagree.
This
here.
is a perfect picture of a cultural, even societal difference.
Right. We're like
In the same country.
we're in a melting pot right now.
This
We
is-
are in a
Yeah, I
the
know.
ca-
Oh my God.
We live in the
Massive
same
melting
house. I mean, how
This
This
are we
house
gonna-
is a melting pot, guys.
Absolutely.
melting
Yeah.
pot.
Full of culture
So much.
and age.
full of so much.
There it was. There it
What?
was.
I'm not not talking about Caleb. Why are you guys all thinking that? I low key.
He's furious.
We all have an age.
All right. That was solid. That was very solid. I didn't think you meant for it to be solid. It was solid because you did say age and you looked right at him.
Look, guys.
No.
You know, I've literally had people coming up to me now and saying, "What's up, Unk?" And I'm just,
We have a friend at the gym. We have a friend at the gym who will say, when Caleb's not there, he'll come up to me like, "Bro, where's Unk? Where's Unk at?"
no, he'll also call me Mr. He'll call me Mr. Clean. He'll go, "Yo, Mr. Clean."
But that
pull up
means
to
you're
the
But you got a
swole.
beard.
He
I
said,
do have a beard.
he
yeah.
said,
So
bro,
that's,
you need
you know.
WD-40 for those elbows.
Oh.
Let's grease him.
That's...
Let's grease him.
I'm sorry.
He's not the Tin Man. You are the man, not the Tin Man.
Thank you.
You are so
old man.
funny, man. You
Yeah.
are the man.
Yes.
The-
Oh my
not the Tin
gosh.
Man.
Well, wow. Lots to unpack today.
It's a fair amount to unpack.
I love it. I love it. But Ike, I want to transition now to
Feel free.
something else.
Hey.
I want to ask you.
Go ahead.
So, obviously, you are filled with the joy of the Lord.
Oh my gosh.
bro.
That is probably the greatest compliment I could ever receive. In all seriousness, that is the
Yeah.
greatest compliment I could ever receive.
Ever since.
Joy is my last name.
Yep.
It's like my life's goal is to fulfill that.
And
Actually live up to it.
literally, the day I met you, I felt like you had that joy in you. I mean, legitimately. I remember
Appreciate
us
that.
talking, and I was just, that's the guy I could hang out with. And
Mr.
you know,
Eichelman.
Eichels.
That's better.
That is unfortunately a nickname that.
No way.
Yeah, Eichels. Mm-hmm.
Like,
A lot of people just call me Joy. I don't really have any like nicknames. It's
I've
more
always just called
like,
you Ike.
So is that
Yeah, it's
movie?
like-
Is that?
I think Ike is so
Wait.
hard, bro.
Ike
Hey,
is
I mean,
hard.
it's
You were blessed, bro.
so well. My name's actually Isaac.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So yeah. So my
No
name.
way
Yeah, my
it
name's
is.
not Ike, and my parents were like, Ike is his nickname. They just
So
It just
okay.
clicked?
Do you
and they clicked.
do you kind of so you said you were a history nerd earlier.
Mhm. Well, Eisenhower. Yeah,
That's what I
we
was
like
getting
we
at,
like
yes.
Ike.
We like
yeah,
Ike.
my grandma had one of the like the buttons or whatever that they had. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like saw it was we like Ike. So
Ike's not a bad nickname.
Bro, we
not
love
too bad.
Ike.
And
here.
his name was Dwight. I don't know how they got Ike from Dwight.
I don't
but
know either.
They
You know,
figured it out.
there are some odd shortenings of names. It's
Sure.
just like,
Yeah.
I wonder how you got that.
That's fair. But
Yes. So obviously, being filled with the joy of the Lord, obviously, is a journey to get to that point. All of us here being Christ followers,
No pun intended.
no pun intended, no. And I've heard a little bit about your testimony, but I want to kind of hear how you came to know Christ.
absolutely. Yeah. So I had every phenomenal, impact that I could have had on my life from my parents to my brother. I guess whatever. What's the term for family that is? Like your intermediate family is like the people, your mom, dad, siblings, or whatnot.
Extended family.
Extended
Yeah,
family,
there we
yeah.
go. I just lost that.
It's
But
your
like
fam.
it's the fam. It's the whole fam. Like
Yeah.
phenomenal influences on my life. My mom and dad have been just fantastic. That they've really role modeled to me what I would love for my marriage to look like one day. And
Amen.
just two people that genuinely honor the Lord with what they say and with what they do, especially with how they treated us.
Yeah.
So, growing up in that environment was fantastic. And I ignored pretty much every single principle of Christianity, of any involvement with church that I possibly could have. I was a massive introvert, very socially awkward, didn't really like doing a whole lot of stuff with people. And especially throughout high school, I started just to more distance myself from anything that was involved with Jesus, from just anything that could be really done with church. Now you couldn't really see that, if you just saw me on Sundays or whatever. I still went to church. It's not like I just I didn't go because I knew it would make my parents happy. I knew that's what they wanted me to do. So, and actually part of the reason even why I came here outside of golf was I knew that my parents would love it if I went here for school. So, I was pretty much just running as far away as I feasibly could. And there was one particular night, I remember like it was yesterday. It was Sunday, August the 16th, 2021. It was 8 days before I came to Liberty my freshman year.
Mm.
And my mom had been, you know, like reasonably emotional.
Yeah.
Kind of just, you know, like the last couple months beforehand of, you know, anytime we have like a conversation, she'll just kind of look at me and just smile. And like, you know, like I know she's going to miss me, like when I, you know,
Yeah.
leave for school. And it's like 10 o'clock at night. And she comes upstairs into my room and she's dead stoic. You know, just like.
Not
It's-
smiling this time.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. And I have like a little, you know, like a desk and a little chair. And she sits down in that chair. She's like, hey, I got a question for you. I said, shoot, yeah, go ahead. What's up? And like I set up in my bed. I was like, I immediately know someone was different about what she was going to say. She said, do you have any kind of relationship with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? And I will, for the rest of my days here on this planet, I will say that I did not say a single word. And what came out of my mouth was no. I didn't say a word. And it felt like a switch was flipped. And it felt like everything that I had ever done my entire life was completely irrelevant. And it felt like I was given an actual clean slate, a totally different view on life. And the Holy Spirit completely flooded through my body. And I've felt that a couple times since, and there is no other feeling that is possibly like it. It is, without a doubt, the most out-of-body, just outrageous experience that I have ever had. And it felt like I literally had a new lease on life. And my mom just like, you know, we talked for like an hour and a half and just was, you know, telling me like this, you know, like these are places to start and like these are different things you need to do. And I got up the next day and I felt lighter. I felt lighter on my feet. I felt this weight that was taken off of my shoulders that I had carried for so many years of trying to distance myself from my true calling and my true purpose, which was to love others as I would want them to love me.
Yeah.
And it's something that like I had read in the Bible before. It's like I knew the Bible. Like I wasn't, you know, I was versed in it. Like I'd gone to Sunday school as a kid. It's like I, you know, professed Jesus Christ as my Savior when I think I was 9. It's like I knew the stuff. I knew the steps. I knew what needed to be done, and yet I completely ignored all of it. And then finally he caught up to me. And he came to exactly where I was, brought, you know, like just, it's like, it's an emotion that I can't really fathom. I can't really put it into words.
Yeah.
It's so complete. It made me feel like I was seen and that I was loved by my Creator. The God that created everything that we can, you know, ever sense, everything that we can ever, you know, taste, touch, smell, feel, people, those that we love, our families. Like I felt as though he was in the room with me. I felt his presence. And from that point, like my personality flipped. I've become a massive extrovert. I love being around people. It's like I couldn't do eye contact. I hated eye contact.
Yep.
I'd be skipping around the room and just kind of like be looking around. I'd look at you for a second and then I'd bounce around. Like I couldn't keep anything like that together. And since then, it's just like I've, you know, my original intention was always to do criminal justice, but then it was to go into counseling. It's like that's what I wanted. Like I wanted to feel like I reversed all the wrongs, all the selfishness that I'd had for my entire life. And I wanted to reverse that. I wanted to just right those wrongs. Unfortunately, with golf, it's like you can't, with the practicums, they're 20 plus hours a week, plus the internships, they're like 40 plus hours a week that you have to do with counseling. Like if you're doing like a KCRAP accredited program, which is to be an actual certified counselor, it wasn't really possible.
60 hours a week plus.
Well, yeah, it was like 20 plus hours for like a year.
Yeah.
And then like 40 plus hours of like an actual workshop. You're working, you know, with other certified counselors. Like you're, you know, understudying and doing this and that.
Right.
It was not feasible. And I kind of determined, I was like, okay, I tried it for a semester. And I was like, I don't know if I genuinely have the stomach to be able to, you know, to sit across from someone and them just, you know, lay out their entire lives to me. I'm not sure if I could have done that year after year after year and been okay myself, as the vast majority of counselors have counselors themselves, because like the weight of that job is heavy.
Yeah, I bet.
Like the burdens that people have, like, you know, they're that's not trauma dumping. I don't view it as that. But they're, they've been holding on to something like that for so long,
Right.
and they just want to be able to let it go. And that's what you are paid to do, is that.
You
Is
kind
to
of have
listen.
to take on that a little bit.
Correct. You do have to take on a little bit of that. And I feel like I'm pretty good at compartmentalizing things. I feel like a kind of a spiritual gift of mine is being able to take information that someone says, you put it in the box, you put the box on a shelf, and you let it go. It's like you don't have to dwell on that. But at the same time, I felt as though I would have been overwhelmed eventually. I definitely felt as though I would have had to take on too much, far more than I could have been able to bear. So kind of switch gears from that. I'm now in the, it's an MBA program with a cognate in public relations. So that's what I'm working more towards now. I've got this semester and then 2 more after, and I'll probably take some summer classes at some point, probably this summer to get that finished up by the time I'm done with golf. But if I want to come back for counseling, I know I could do that at a later date. But since then, it's been incredible to see kind of the fruit that, and really just the opportunities that God has been able to give me, and the fruit that has come from them of just loving people where they're at. Not who you want them to be, but who they are.
Wow.
So it's when you see people as with the same sort of mindset that God has for them, just the unconditional love and the perfect peace that He can provide, it makes it a lot easier to have conversations with people that you probably wouldn't really be talking to in the first place. So, and golf has given me, it's given me some really good opportunities to be able to, travel and see different places. Yeah. But also with the guys that you're playing with, like when you're in tournaments, it's not the easiest environment to share the gospel because,
Right.
you're trying to compete
You're
and
locked in.
it's like you're obviously trying to play well for your team, but at the same time is like, how can I reflect Jesus with my actions here? Is like, how can I, refrain from anger, refrain from saying things that I definitely should not be saying. It's like, how can I represent, liberty as well as I can, because obviously like we have a reputation. And
Yes.
a lot of times the reputation is not great. And it's like, oh, you're that Christian school. It's like, can you drink there? Don't you have curfew? And people always, they ask me these questions. They always have just like this negative connotation behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I tell them, I was like, yeah, like it's a dry campus. It's like, yeah, we have like midnight curfew for most of the nights. It's like, yeah, we have rules. I was like, but, like, this coming in. It was like, you kind of know what you're getting into. And like, there really weren't that many times when I was on campus that like, I was having to, rush back home because of curfew. It was like, because I got 8:15s in the morning. I was like,
Yeah,
I
so
got
you had
class.
to-
Yeah, you
I
have
need to
to
get
be
some
back.
sleep.
Yeah.
It was like, we got workouts. It's like, I want to go to bed.
Yep.
Like, at the end of the day, I'm tired. Like, if it's 10:30, I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, we have these rules. And it's like, but they're also set up for a reason. That's like, we're meant to be, set apart from the rest of the world. We're meant to be champions for Christ. It's like, that's the principle behind it.
Amen.
So it's like, if, you kind of need to have some sort of discipline if you're going to want to achieve that. So, but yeah, that's a pretty long-winded version of my testimony. But yeah, it's I've been able to do things that I never thought I would have been able to do.
Yeah.
And it is by the strength of God alone that I have been able to do anything. And it is a blessing not only just to be here talking with y'all, but it's a blessing to be alive. And I
Absolutely.
just try my best to not take a single day for granted. Some days
Yeah.
some days suck. Some days are not fun. Some days occasional Mondays, you have a little case of the Mondays sometimes. And they're not fun. But those days are they are but a stepping stone to the next day.
Right.
And every breath we
Exactly.
take is a gift. And it is genuinely a blessing to be able to be alive.
Yeah.
Amen.
And like I just said, it's like I don't want to take it for granted. It's like I want to be able to, actually share the love of God with others. And, once my time is up, and I will know that my purpose has been fulfilled.
Run the
So
race.
it's like, I want to finish the race well.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know when that race is going to end.
We don't know.
It's like
Could be tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we really don't
6
know.
years.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, but the time that I have on, this planet, the time that I have here, at Liberty and, in this kind of community that is so unique from, pretty much everywhere else that I've ever been to, it is, it is a joy to be alive. No pun intended, but it really is.
Oh man, I remember going to get Blaze Pizza with you back in October, and I remember just we had such a good conversation. We probably talked for 2 hours or something like that. But
Flew by.
your heart for the Lord is so evident, but your heart for people is evident as well. 'Cause I love people. I know we talked a lot, but I love people. I love their stories, and I love getting to know people, new people, everything. And your heart for people is so evident. How do you use your platform you have as a golfer for Liberty University to love on people?
Yeah, so because of being it's even funny now, is like I am a Division I athlete. I don't really feel like it. I play golf.
Yeah.
It's not the most glamorous sport in the world. Like, I
I
get
think it's tough.
it. Oh, it's
It
tough.
is tough.
It's
yeah.
very tough. In my opinion, it is maybe not the hardest sport in the world, but it is right up there.
Yeah.
It's like, but
This takes a lot of concentration.
it does.
I
It
remember-
really does.
Yeah. My dad used to take me to just a putt-putt course. I couldn't stand out there for like 5 minutes. But you guys go all day.
Yeah, a lot of college rounds will take at least 5 hours.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah,
That's
so it's like,
crazy
and
concentration.
you're not focusing all the time during that. Like, you're really not. But I would say that, like it's golfers are kind of like it. Here it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
But golf it's not the sport. Football, basketball, baseball, depending on the school and whatnot. Like those are sports that people focus on. And like here at Liberty, like I don't really feel like the football players are like held to any sort of different status level or whatnot than anybody else is. It's like we all like I don't know how it is. It's like you work at your sport, you put in your time, you put in your effort, and then at some point, like whether it be like the day or your entire like collegiate career, it's like sometimes the day's over, like you got to do homework, you got to go to class at some point. So it's like you kind of have to be able to just sort of figure things out. And say specifically like going back to your question, being able to interact with a set of people that I would not have had the chance to interact with if I was not an athlete. I'd say that's been the biggest thing. It's like when you're every interaction that you ever have for your entire life is a way to shape the minds of others towards Christ.
I agree.
You might not have the opportunity to, in passing, walking by somebody, to share the gospel. You're probably not going to have the opportunity to walk into class. But you do have the opportunity to look at them and say, hey, how are you doing? And to check in with them and to see what's going on.
How
You
are
might
you
not know
really
their
doing?
name. You
Yeah.
might have never seen them. And you might not ever see them again. But it's like, if you have one interaction with someone, how do you want to be remembered?
Dang.
How do you want somebody to look at you like, oh yeah, like that guy was really nice. It's like he asked me how I was doing, and actually cared about me. It's like you only had a few seconds, but he looked like, in that moment, like that was the only person that, like I cared about. Like, it was just that, it was that moment, it was that interaction.
Yeah.
That was what I was focused on.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to be able to love on everyone that I meet. I want it to be evident that that is done. So because of that, it's in everything you do. Like it's your life has to be a reflection of that. Like Jesus did not come to be served, but he came to serve.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate to be able to lead this Bible study with a buddy of mine over at Highland Heights Baptist Church, and his name is Mitch. And we are going through the first beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about like how to actually be poor in spirit, and one of the main reasons was to have a servant's attitude, a servant's mind. And particularly we went through the story of Jesus washing his disciples' feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in that culture, that was like the lowest of low. Like that showed that every person that he interacted with, he felt was above him. When in fact, he is, he's seated at the right hand of God. It's like before Abraham was, I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he held all the authority that we could possibly have, and yet he came to serve. So that's what I want to do with others. It's like I hold no authority like that, but I can still serve. So I want to be able to love people just by my existence, whether it's the 2-second conversations you have in someone that's passing by,
Right.
or people at the athletic center that I go work out with, like my trainer, the other trainers that are there, the other athletes that
Yeah.
like bump into, like just say, hey, like what's up, what's going on, like how's the season going so far? Just the interactions that you have, it's like there's so many good opportunities that we all miss because we don't take them as opportunities.
Well,
We take them as
see
just
them
like little
as
interactions.
Little interactions.
Yeah, just like little small parts of your day that
Yeah.
you forget.
Yeah.
But you can really change somebody just based on how you interact with them just for those few seconds. You maybe give them a little bit of hope that they've been desperately trying to find.
Amen.
So, yet again, long-winded answer, and I'm full of long-winded answers.
No,
but,
I love the long-winded
Yeah.
answers.
How do you navigate that?
like practically?
No, I'm saying like something I've struggled with like my whole life because I feel like I'm low key like an introvert,
Mhm.
right? Just based off of like strangers
Sure.
or people I don't know.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to being with friends, I'm more like extroverted. But
Yeah.
how do you like navigate it courageously? It's so hard for me personally, like meeting a stranger
Mhm.
and then feeling like I have a desire and a love for Christ,
Mhm.
but sometimes it's just tough for me to like say it without
Yeah. Uh-huh.
potentially jeopardizing a conversation. But like that's just it's like in my mind. Like I know that's probably like the wrong mindset, but maybe some people know like are like in a similar boat as me. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like that's everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
even though I'm an extrovert, I'm definitely like, like, is it the first thing I want to say is like, hey, Jesus loves you. And I really hope you know that. And if you don't know that, I'd love to talk to you about that. That's a really hard thing to kind of say to somebody who you've known for 5 minutes or you have not even known for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I think it really comes down to how would you want others to treat you if you were in their position? I think that's kind of what it comes down to. Is like if you knew the truth, that is the gospel of Jesus Christ. If you knew the reality of his life, death, and then ultimately his resurrection, if you knew that to be the case, you
Why
want to
would
share.
you? Yeah.
You want to share it with others.
Exactly. Yeah.
Correct. It's like this was our calling in the Great Commission. This is Matthew 28.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what we were told to go do, like to go and do. It's like we are the disciples that that make disciples. Like that is our calling. So, and granted, this might not look like you go to a foreign country be a missionary.
Right, Nicaragua or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Anywhere. Yeah. Exactly. It's like
Your mission feels where your feet are.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah. It's like your feet don't have to be halfway around the world.
Exactly.
I mean, they can be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're called to that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can do it right here where you're at.
Yep.
It's like
Exactly.
So how many people would you say you kind of do that with? You just kind of check and be like, hey, how are you doing?
Try to do it with every person that I see.
Mm.
It's like I especially like to do it more with people that I, actually have some sort of, like consistent
Yeah.
interaction with. Granted, you can do something in the 5 seconds. But it's like if you're not seeing them every day, you don't even know their name. Like, yeah, obviously it's harder to keep tabs with them. But the people that I like come into contact with regularly, people working out, it's like I like to try to go work out in the mornings,
Yeah.
and have like different teams will work out kind of at different times or whatever, and you see the same people, so you're just like, hey, like what's up? Like I might not remember exactly who you are, but like I remember something that you mentioned 2 weeks ago. It's like something that God will just be like, oh, like pop that thought into your head. Like ask them like, how are you doing spiritually? What can I be praying for you? Like what
I
can I be
love
praying
that.
over you? It's like
Yeah.
what are some things that like just anything,
Yeah.
any sort of practical way to be able to check in and just show them that you love them, that you care for them, and that you are supporting them whatever that they're going through. Like everybody's going through something.
Even if we don't say it. Yeah,
Even if we don't say it.
Exactly.
Correct. So, yeah, I mean, like, am I perfect about that? Absolutely not. But I try to at least have that mindset of not only the servant's mindset, but just one that is focused on them, their needs, and really everybody wants to feel seen, heard, and loved at the end of the day. So if you can make someone feel that, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So if it's 3 seconds, 3 minutes, or 3 hours, it's like you want to make them feel as though they are exactly what matters to you at that moment.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
I relate because literally last year, the beginning of last year, I really kind of committed my life to Christ more than I ever have before.
Mhm.
I said, okay,
Yep.
God, I'm going to move forward. So, and I've just seen the Lord bring so many people into my life through that, new friends and all that stuff,
Yeah.
new opportunities.
Yeah.
But one thing I love to do is at my gym, I've made a lot of friends at my local gym. Shout out Elite 24/7.
There we go.
Fitness.
Yep.
Sponsor
Shout
us.
out.
Yep.
But I literally I'll go up to people there and just I go at a similar time, so I get
Yeah.
to know people. And like I said, I made a lot of friends there who I just already were friends with, and I just talk to them regularly.
Yeah.
But there are people there who I just kind of see there at certain times. I always go up to them. I'll just say, hey, how can I be praying for you? How are you doing?
Mhm.
I love doing that. I literally will write down their names on my prayer list,
Yep.
and I'll say, I'm praying for you. And then I'll come up to them, 2 weeks later, I'll
Mhm.
see them, I'll say, hey, how did that job go? How that internship started?
Yeah, exactly.
All those things. And
Mhm.
I love learning those little stories
Yeah.
about people, because it is genuinely interesting to me to hear how the Lord's working in their life, what they're doing in their life, all that stuff. Even if they think they're not going to want to hear about this, I genuinely care about that, and it's interesting. So I can relate to that too, whether it be at a coffee shop I go to, and I just tell the barista, I say, hey, you got a really cool pair of shoes, something like that.
Something like that.
Literally,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll look down, I'll say, no, those are cool shoes. I'm going to tell you that. And I'm open and honest with people most of the time, so I'll just say, I like your shoes. Little things like that
Correct.
can start a conversation, and you never know what can happen from that. The Lord lets us plant little seeds sometimes, and that can literally start from, hey, I like your shoes. Dude, you got a really cool haircut, stuff like that. That's how the kingdom of God works. So I love that. And
Absolutely.
It's also interesting, golf is such an individual sport. So you being an extrovert, you literally you get a chance to, when you're by yourself, you're by yourself, but you have almost a challenge to work through to get to talk to other people and stuff through that, because it's such an individual sport. It's not like football where you're with 100 other guys on a football field.
Correct.
And the 100 other guys on the other side. Yeah. You are with your teammates, some of it, but then a lot of times you're just by yourself. Yeah. So that is so cool.
Yeah, like it we have obviously it's like, I'd say it's one of the smaller teams at Liberty. We have 12 guys on the team. Yeah. So it's like, I think tennis is around the same, maybe a little bit more like, like 8 to 10 to 12 guys, somewhere like that.
You're tied essentially with smallest teams.
Correct. Yeah, for sure. So we have, we definitely have like a tight-knit group. Yeah. For sure. And like, practices are definitely like, it's group practices. Like, you're not like overly, like by yourself at any sort of point in time. It's like everybody you're working on, you're doing your putting drills or whatever together. You got your chipping, you're hitting your wedges, just you're doing whatever like that practice will entail for that day. Right. But when, push comes to shove, it's like, and you're playing, I mean, it's, you get, obviously you're just kind of more in your own world. So it is cool to be able to kind of step back and to look at how, like golf is so much different than every other sport, because it's all on you. Yeah. It's like, exactly. if you're playing for, you're playing for a living, it's like you got a caddy. So it's like, you're a team, you're a duo. And it's like, obviously the caddy ain't hitting the ball, but he's carrying the bag. Like, he's giving you advice. He's, like, y'all are going through things together. But, ultimately it's down to the player. It's like for Scotty Scheffler, for instance, is like, he was by far the best player in the world last year. It's like, his caddy was definitely getting some credit for sure, but it's like his caddy wasn't the best player in the world last year. He, he was the caddy.
But he was a part of his.
He was a part of the team.
To be
Correct.
able to do that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cog in the machine.
Correct.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah. So, but not only is it like, while that may be true, it's like, when Scotty plays well, like, he gets the glory, like he gets the praise from that, and so be it, because golf is a very hard sport, and he is the one that's doing every aspect of it very well. It's like, when he plays bad, it's all on him too. So it's, it goes both ways. And I think that's what's so different about golf, is like, you can't really get subbed out.
There's no tap in and
there's
correct,
no,
yeah.
all right, get
it's
out.
Like, man,
we're,
like, you're
replacing,
getting, you're getting subbed out. It's like, nope.
You have to do your thing.
There's there's no, manager's not coming to the pitcher's mound and just being like, hey, you don't,
we're
correct.
gonna put in another guy.
Yeah, you've had like a really tough, inning and a half straight, like, or, we're getting you out, we're bringing in a reliever. It's like, nope, it's just you. So it's far different from that, from every other sport in that aspect. It's like, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Does that make you nervous?
I mean, I'm nervous pretty consistently. Well, like, especially for tournaments. Oh, yeah, I'm nervous, most of the time.
Do you feel like just that urge to perform? It's just like, and if you're not doing
It's all
well,
on you.
start.
Yeah,
type of
yeah. I mean,
moment,
it is. It's like I'm 22. I've been doing this for 17 years.
Wow.
So it has been the only sport that I have played. I think I played t-ball in like first grade.
Yo, me too.
You know, so it's, I mean, yeah, it's like, but that has been it. So like, you get used to it at some point. You kind of have a better understanding of what that is. But at the same time, like, yeah, I get nervous. Of course I get nervous. It's like you get like, you know, at some point after the first couple holes of like a tournament, you kind of begin, you get,
settle in,
you settle in a little bit. You get more into your, like, you know, you try to get into your groove and go from there. But sometimes it's like your groove is hard to find. It's like it takes a while. And some tournaments we're playing 36 holes, which is, you know, you start at 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and you go till however long that takes. And it'll probably be, you know, 6, 7 at night sometimes for you to get done. So it's just a long day.
Yeah.
So like while you're doing that, it's like, you know, you focus over what you're doing. When you get to the ball, you hit the shot, and now I'm thinking of like food I'm gonna eat later. Yeah, I'm humming songs to myself. You know, like
you're feeling good.
It's like, you know, you
get in the zone, you feel good.
You get in the zone for, you know, when you need to get in the zone, and the rest of the time is like, you know, I like playing competitors. It's all like the same thing. You're on the golf course for 10, 12 hours in a day.
Yeah.
It's like, and you're, you know, the pressure to compete and all that is there for sure. So it's like you're just like trying to, you know, get past the time at some point. So you're talking, you know, you're asking questions about, you know, like what's their degree, you know, like how's their school compared to ours, it's like, you know, just for certain things and this and that. So it's like there are definitely conversations going on, but when it does come to like when it comes down to it, you know, and you know, like when the rubber when it meets the road, as like, and you're up, you know, somewhere near the top of the leaderboard, it's like everybody just understands, like you typically just quiet down a little bit, you get the business.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of see it almost as a analogy to calling us as men of God. We're kind of called to be leaders
Absolutely.
in the household, and I feel like for you, that's honestly, golf's a really good way of preparing you to be a future husband, just a future leader in general, because while you're part of a team, you have your moment to shine, your opportunity. When that comes, you have to lock in, you have to do your thing, and you have to say, okay, I'm nervous. I'm terrified right now of this. What if I screw this up? But it's a way, almost the Lord, I feel like, is giving you an opportunity to show leadership as a man of God. And that's super cool because you're representing so many different things, so many different people all at once. Because people look at you and say, he's representing something bigger than himself.
Correct.
But he's also a leader in that sense.
That's one of my goals this year, especially for just kind of as I've gotten older. Now I'm one of the older guys on the team. It's like I want to be a spiritual leader. Like that's one thing that I have, you know, really tried to focus on, especially in the fall and not coming into the spring. It's like that's one thing I really want to harp on. So it's not only is it, you know, like regularly attending our Bible studies, you know, like leading a little smaller study of my own, but it's, you know, just being like acting in a manner to which I'm actually proud of being accountable towards. I was like, you know, we're going to have to be held accountable for everything that we have ever said and done.
One day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to live in a manner to where I'm actually, you know, I can look at it, I was like, yeah, like, you know, it like obviously could have been better, but, you know.
We all can be.
Exactly. So it's like, but, you know, there's a certain point where you're like, I cannot attain perfection, and trying to focus on just attaining perfection is not a good thing because, you know, my flesh is weak. So it ain't going to happen. But trying to just live in a manner to where, you know, somebody can look at me on the team and be like, hey, wow, that guy actually, like, you know, he tries his best to live up to what he says and what the Bible says. So it's like, if I can do that, mission accomplished.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And perfection's always like on the horizon. Like you'll never be able to reach it.
And just,
And the more you
it's
live
like chasing after the wind. It ain't gonna happen.
the more you live in the fact that like perfection can just not be attained, you kind of find it ease to just exist. Man.
No, yeah, exactly. It's like you can actually just sit and be still and know that, you know, you're not gonna be perfect. You cannot attain the level that Christ attained himself. It's like you're never gonna get there, but you can be Christ-like. You can do your best to as best you can be.
You're not that guy, but you can try to be like that guy.
Correct. Yeah. You'll never be that guy, but you should definitely try to be that guy.
Exactly.
And by that guy, I mean Jesus.
The
Absolutely.
big
Amen.
JC.
The big
Yes.
JC. Capital J, capital C.
Mm-hmm.
So, being a man of God, obviously we're all in our 20s, and we talked about this a little bit before, but what does being a man of God, what does having a godly relationship with a woman mean to you?
I'd say that society dictates that, a reflection between, or a relationship between a man and a woman now it's been cheapened. It has not held the same level of, sanctity that it has in the past. And it seems to me like that gets worse and worse and worse as time just goes on. It's like, just the act of sex is just completely, it's been brought to such a low point, just like, oh yeah, like it's just commonplace now before marriage.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I've tried to focus on is like, this was not meant to be something that is, just like done, just, like
So casually.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
very casually, very just, like, yeah, it's like, it's whatever. Like, it's no problem.
One night stand culture and all
Correct.
that.
Yeah,
It's just-
hookup culture. Yeah. So that's obviously one thing that I have like really harped on with my girlfriend is like, and we're both very much on the same page on
Yes.
this. It's like this.
Want to give her a quick shout out?
Yeah, shout out Julia, Jules. If you're ever listening to this, watching this, love you. You're fantastic.
She's also an amazing graphic designer.
She's a phenomenal graphic designer.
Yes.
Standing for Freedom Center.
Facts.
Shout out Kev.
I freaking love Julia.
She's fantastic.
Shout out Julia.
Shout out Jules. Shout out
Yeah.
Jules.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so it's like we're definitely on the same page on that. It's like, there's obviously it can happen very easily if you put up zero boundaries and do nothing to
Yes.
prevent it. Because obviously it's like, there's definitely a physical attraction between us. It's like,
Yes.
as there should be, as I, would want for there to be.
Right.
So
It's
it's
one
like,
of the qualities you should
yeah,
look for.
exactly. Yeah. I was like, you want to be attracted to your spouse.
Right.
Like, of course. But, there needs to be boundaries and things put in place to where you're not even like risking being put into situations where anything like that could happen.
A temptation could occur.
Correct. It's like
There's-
yeah. Like the best boundary is one that like they're non-negotiables. Like something that you cannot reach that. And like both of you are very firm in your agreement on that.
Absolutely.
So I think
Yeah.
that's one aspect of relationship. And really it's just like just love her. Just like love her when it hurts to love her. Love her when it's easy to. It's like you just need to be there and to try your best to be what she needs for that moment, whether she needs somebody to just like talk and just hear about her day and just sit there and just be quiet and just like listen to what's going on, I'd say my girl, like, she doesn't like ramble on too often. It's like by the time she does, I'm just like, just sit there and just listen. And it's like also like I kind of like when she rambles on, like it's you're
I
kind
was
of
gonna
like,
say I feel like Julia doesn't talk a ton, but then when she
Yeah.
does, it's just super cool to actually
Correct.
hear
Just like-
her talk about.
yeah,
that
just
stuff.
like like I like this. We should do this more often.
Yeah.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like just to show that you truly love and respect her. It's like that's something as men that we want that. Like we want just to be respected.
Yeah.
Just to be held as though like we are the leaders of the relationship. I was like, and for the woman to respect us as this is the case.
Right.
So it's not as though she is the lesser, like it's not like this is a 60-40 kind of partnership. It's like it's a 50-50. I was like, but there are qualities that I have and responsibilities that I have, and
As the
there's
man.
qualities that she has and responsibilities that she has.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like it's it is two people. It's really, it's not like two halves make a whole. It's really two people come together to make a more complete reflection of Christ.
Ooh.
It's like that's the relationship that we
Yeah.
ultimately should strive to have. Is that
Amen.
two people who who love God before they love each other. It's like and
Putting him at the center of their
Correct.
relationship.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it's a reflection of both of your relationships with Christ.
100%.
Man.
And also this is like this is a smaller. This is still I'd say this is pretty important. But like not bashing each other in public
Yeah.
or in private, just like at all. Like if you got something to talk about, you talk about it in private with with just them.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, but you don't like bash them for anything that like they do or like, you know, something you might find like, you know, slightly off-putting or whatever about them. It's like, you don't do that. It's like, it's just that leaves a bad taste in, you know, like, it can leave a bad taste in their mouth if they find out about it. Or it's like, it's not a good look in front of somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's like, this just, you know, just stay away from that. It's not a very good thing.
Yeah.
But I think those are some key principles, is just to love them as Christ did, ultimately. I think that's a principle that, you know, we should have for all people. And then also to just, you know, to love them for who they are. Because it's like, I love my girlfriend because of who she is, not because of who I want her to be.
And not because she's perfect.
Correct, because I am certainly not.
Yes.
So it's like I love her for who she is, and I think that, like, just that kind of aspect in and of itself is highly important.
Yes.
So,
Amen.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever been as like serious a relationship as you have, but I heard it said once that in terms of relationships, you said it's very much like 50-50. I've heard it said also that relationships are also very much 100-100.
Yeah.
That's good point.
Give your whole
Yeah.
because you
Yeah,
kind
very good point.
I'm not correcting you at all. I'm just saying like a different frame because I completely agree. Sometimes it like in the 50-50 aspect, you kind of hold back like a part of you.
Sure.
But you want to like completely I guess be vulnerable with your partner, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And, like, just give your all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. As you said, 100. Yeah. I mean, I know.
He'll be here all week.
I hope. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh man.
I hope. But no. So no, you're exactly right. It's like you don't want to hold any part of yourself back. You want to be able to, you know,
Transparent and all this.
correct, be fully transparent and fully commit yourself to that relationship. It's like sometimes, you know, like to the, you know, the 50-50 or whatever. It's like sometimes it's 70-30. Like some days, you know, there's just like they're going to need you to be there for them and do something, and that might take a little bit more effort.
Yeah.
Right.
And some days it's 30-70, and it goes back and forward. So it's like, but ultimately it is 100-100. It's like you're exactly right on that, Kev. It's like you want to fully be a part of that relationship and not hold anything back.
And I would assume you want
Totally
to like
agree.
fully express yourself too, because you
100%. Yeah.
ultimately you want your partner to like most of the parts of you and not
Correct.
like hold yourself
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
from doing
You
certain
want them to
things.
know the stuff about you that you aren't as comfortable with about yourself, and see
Absolutely.
those
I mean, you're gonna
flaws
be
that they love you despite your
Correct,
flaws.
correct.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be spending a lot of time together. You might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah.
air out
Might as
that.
well let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. It's like my philosophy on dating is like, if I'm dating you, I want to get married. That's the point.
W.
It's like
the
there
goal.
is
Dating
no,
for marriage.
you know, you look at like all throughout the Bible, right? There was no dating. It's
It
like
was-
when Rebecca met Isaac, is like there was no, they didn't date.
Yeah.
Like that was his wife. They got married.
Yeah.
It's like that, you know. It's like when Jacob met Rachel. It's like the 7 years felt but of like a few days. They didn't date. Like that might be the only instance in the Bible where I have seen like, you know,
A prolonged courtship.
Yeah.
Exactly, something like
But
that.
I mean, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they had instead was courtship, and courtship, the ultimate end of courtship was always to marry.
Correct.
marry, right.
Yeah.
It didn't always work out, but that was the goal.
Mhm.
That was the goal everybody went into it with.
That's-
It wasn't just, you know, oh, well, this is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's not like you know, like this is really cool. Like I feel like I'm gaining experience for the next.
Yeah, no, it's
No,
not, this isn't a
that's
job,
not.
dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not trying to get on job experience. It's
Yes.
like I like to just like find and then just be done. It's like you
Yes.
kind of just want to like find the one and then just go from there.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes
Exactly.
that unfortunately that does not happen.
Mhm.
But it's like when you find somebody and you're like, dang, like I think this has a check is working out. It's like then you start to go from like, all right, these are really cool qualities of a person. Like, all right, cool. What kind of qualities I want in a wife?
Yeah.
When you find that, you're like, you start to see it a little bit differently. It's like, okay, could I live with this person?
Yep.
You know, are there
You're-
like
you think
yeah,
differently
you
about
you
things.
just think
Yep.
a little bit differently. You
Yes.
see the relationship in a different manner,
Yes.
and like
And
Yeah.
that changes how you approach the person.
completely changes how you approach them. You start to see them, as like that's like this is my person.
And I'm gonna.
That's the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
fight for them and
Yeah,
try to
Lord willing, this is the rest of my life, and I
Yes.
want, I will do everything in my power, to
make that happen.
to make that happen.
Yeah.
Maybe this is pretty vulnerable, but I love to ask, like, because obviously your whole goal is to marry Julia,
Yeah.
ultimately, right? Because that's what you're doing.
100%.
It's beautiful,
100%.
beautiful. It's gonna be a beautiful wedding. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's not really a spoiler. She definitely knows. At least I hope.
Well,
No.
you just send her this clip. Just.
Yeah. We'll take this little snippet right here.
Yeah,
Jules,
just-
that's my intention.
We'll make her a custom.
She can
reel.
just loop it over and over and over just in her camera roll.
That's fair. Yeah. But anyways, go ahead.
What I was gonna ask is, what was like the moment? Do you have
What
one
where that kind of hits you like?
Yeah.
that you kind of knew that you wanted that?
Yeah.
Or like you thought, because obviously. So like I said, I'm gonna preface.
Mhm.
I have not been in as serious a relationship as you have.
Sure.
But I strive to one day have that,
Mhm.
and I think many people can probably like relate to me that sometimes we're like waiting for that person, I suppose. What was like that moment for you with Julia that you just like kind of knew that you wanted to spend a lot more time with her?
Well, yeah. So actually, I knew her for like almost a year
Mm-hmm.
before we ever started, talking or
Right,
whatever
yeah.
that sort of
Yep.
phase is nowadays. It's like that didn't even make sense till I got here to school. And I was
So
like,
y'all
yeah.
were like
he's
friends.
one.
Yeah, so yeah, we're like, I wouldn't say like super close friends, but we're pretty good friends. We
Yeah.
hang out, kind of like a weekly basis sort of thing,
Mhm.
have some game nights, and,
Yep.
like the two of us would be there. And yeah, I mean, like there was a friend group they were kind of in, and I was like, I don't want to, jeopardize this friend group by like,
Trying
just
to
like
date
charging
somebody,
in. It's
yeah.
like, I just, like these people are great to hang out with. And I was just like, let's just keep it at that. Let's just keep it at that. And, like the friend group, there were like 4 of them that graduated or kind of moved off. And, Julia was obviously like still here. It's kind of like, this is,
So everything kind of fell into
well,
place.
yeah, it more fell into place. And actually, I'm not gonna make anything up here. There was like a little get together that we had, like right before there were like 4 of them were kind of very close together, and like 2 of them were moving away, and it was like sort of a little send off party. So like, I don't like just it was that night. And I saw her in a little different light than I'd seen her before. Like she was, like not as kind of reserved as though she, at least what I saw before. But she was, just like more outgoing, and just I was like, oh, this is
different.
neat.
Yeah.
Like I always thought she was attractive, but I
Right.
was just like, this is pretty cool. Like, I had kind of set myself up like I don't want to like an introvert. It's like I have no desire for that. And she's definitely more introverted, but when she talks.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah. So I saw a little bit of a different light, and I was like, this is cool. And I just kind of like, I left it at that. I was literally going back home. It was like right at the end of, spring semesters. Like I was going back home the next day. And she texted me like that morning before I left. And she was like, hey, I was like, great to see you last night. I was like, sorry if things got a little bit crazy. I was like, actually what she said, she was like, sorry, not sorry that things got a little bit crazy.
That's hilarious.
I was like, huh.
Hey.
That's interesting. This feels like an open door. I'm gonna open. I'm gonna walk through this door. So I was like, it was like it was great to see you in that light. Like I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, and it just sort of went from there. So
Just kept walking down that hallway.
yeah, just kind of took a few
Yeah.
different steps, and before you know it, I didn't really know I was gonna be back up there. But 2 weeks later, now I was back up in Lynchburg, and that was when like we hung out for the first time like one-on-one, and I was like, dang, like I knew she had a lot of qualities I enjoyed. I was like, this is pretty good. Like this is solid, So, and I'm from a bit outside Charlotte in North Carolina, so it's like 3.5 hour drive. So like I come back up here, spend a few days, go back home. Have like summer tournaments and whatnot for golf. So it's like go travel around. It's like if I was ever closer up to there or like driving through there, obviously I'm stopping by. Come hang out, say hi, and
Naturally.
yeah, do whatever. So after a couple months of that, I was like, I would love to pursue this further, and actually asked her to be my girlfriend. Got her parents' blessing. Went from there. So that was about 6.5 months ago. It was on July the 20. Oh no, I might be getting in trouble here. I think it was July the 22nd.
We can dub over
Yeah,
this.
we're gonna
that
double
you-
Yeah.
it. So Julia will never know.
Yeah, she'll never know.
Correct.
She'll never know.
I'm about 90% confident it was July 22nd.
Yes.
Future Charles, you can edit that.
Yes, future Charles can
Yep.
edit that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Actually, it was July 21st. I'm now.
You've given him perfect sample material, so now we can just go back.
This is true.
Yeah.
We started talking. It was May the 18th when actually like the first like texts
Right.
or whatever was sent.
Yes.
But it was July the 21st. I remember because my mom, shout out my mom, her birthday is on December the 21st. So that was how the correlation with that worked. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah.
That's so
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, but no, it was so really. Yet again, another nicely long-winded answer.
but please.
The moment.
Keep being long-winded.
The moment that I
Oh,
really
I'd love to
knew
know, yeah.
was more like after probably a month and a half of us dating. You know, like it was beginning of fall, and it's like for those who like don't know really how golf works, is like, you know, the fall semester like that we're still playing. It's like we still have tournaments that are going on. The spring is our main semester. That's where we have, you know, like our conference championship is kind of in the middle to the latter part of April, and then you have regionals after that, NCAA regionals, and then, you know, the top 5 teams from each region go on to national championships. So it's like this spring is definitely the main part of the season, but the fall we still have tournaments. So we had 4 scheduled for this past fall. 2 of them got canceled because of, I think, at least 1, maybe 2 different hurricanes that came through like
Yeah,
the middle part of Florida.
Quite a few.
Yeah, and it was like, it was literally deadpan. Both of them were like the same kind of even spot in Florida, and just like both camera. Yeah, it went like across the entire state, which was, you know,
It was bad.
Not good for golf,
Yeah.
and not good for, you know, literally anything else.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, but still, we're practicing. You know, we got qualifying and stuff like that. So I didn't really have a lot of time, and I had not properly communicated to her. Like, I told her, like, I'm going to be busy. Like, I will be busy. But I didn't really tell her, like, how busy. Because I was slammed. And I think we were both just on different pages of, like, hey, you know, like, how much time do you really have? Like, how much time can I actually, you know, like, really give to you? And she was just, like, you know, just asking me questions on that. And I really just tried to do my best to, like, lay it all out for her. And, you know, like, she was just having kind of, like, some, you know, just like different thoughts about, you know, like, I'm not sure how this is going to work out because like the limited time. And she just like didn't really know because she, you know, I hadn't told her, you know, like her expectations were different because I hadn't told her like what I could actually do. So we like spent 2 or 3 hours talking and just like, you know, fleshed everything out pretty much and just like got everything worked out. And she was like, perfect. Like now I actually understand like, you know, like when you're free and when you're not, and this and that. And also, I was doing a pretty sorry job of like communicating with her, just like, you know, not texting her for pretty long periods of time, like, you know, not really checking in when I should have. Like I had been, I'd been single for pretty much, like very close to a year.
So you were kind of out of the...
I was out of the loop, and like I'm not gonna just, you know, start throwing around excuses because those don't really do anybody any good.
Yeah.
But it's like I just, you know, I was not doing a very good job of that. So she told me, she was like, I would love if you did a better job. I said, I will do a better job. And
She was honest with you.
she was very, yeah.
I remember you talking to me
and
about
I
that,
respected that very much. It's like, there's no point in beating around the bush. It's like, I want you to just, if you got a problem with me, you tell me about it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I don't need you to like, you know, smack me in the face with it, but it's like, you got a problem.
But
Like,
tell
I
me,
want to hear it.
communicate,
Because if
yeah.
I don't know the problem, like, how can I fix it? It's like guys are obviously, we're more like, we're problem solving oriented. Like there's a problem. Okay, there's a solution. Bam, we work towards solution.
Yep.
Go from there.
At least I wish I could do that most of the time.
Well, it's, yeah. Sometimes there's like, you know, you get little loops in the journey and this and that and whatever. But
Gotta take a side quest or two, but we get there.
correct. Or 12. And it's like, yeah, but at some point, you know, you try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know, once those kind of expectations were, you know, sort of brought together with what I could actually do with, you know, kind of busy schedule and this and that, like that's how we, you know, like that moment really strengthened our relationship. And, you know, we've had a couple other like, you know, other good talks about like, hey, you know, what does this look like for you? What are you kind of thinking about for future plans? Not anything like massively fixed.
Yeah.
But, you know, what are you like?
Figuring things out together.
Correct.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's so important.
Like instead of, you know, what does your future look like? What is our future look like? You have those kind of conversations.
There's an
You're like,
hour there
you're
now.
like,
What are
yeah.
Oh
we
man.
going to do?
Yeah, what are
we gonna do about
correct?
this?
What are we going to do about that?
Yeah. You're a tandem. You're a duo.
Correct.
Dynamic
Exactly.
duo, Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Batman and Robin.
Yeah. I prefer more like like Batman and Catwoman.
Or Catwoman.
Ah,
Or
there we go.
Or Batgirl, maybe.
Batgirl.
Batgirl,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Catwoman?
Is
That
okay.
Is there?
Is Catwoman or Wonder Woman?
Well,
Have
I
you
think
seen the cartoons?
I haven't seen that many of the cartoons. I've seen some.
I just exposed how much of a total.
It's okay.
No. You also could have exposed at the same time, like how much knowledge I lack in that specific field.
That's true.
That's
bro.
okay.
Read some comics, man.
It's fair. It's very fair.
Man.
But
Work a
you'd
little bit.
say like the moment then is very much the moment that you guys cleared the air.
Correct. It was we cleared the air on a lot of things that we said a lot of things that need to be said. She was very honest with me about like where she stands with us. And I was like, if would have continued down the previous path, like at some point she would have just gotten fed up, just been like, hey, like this ain't it. This ain't working out. This is not what I want to do. This is not where I want to go with my life.
Yeah.
It's like,
But what's
I
so
respect that.
sorry, do you mind if I say this real quick?
Go ahead.
But it's so interesting because that means the fact that she sees something in you that much, she's willing to communicate that with you because she wants to be with you and says, hey, I want to be with you so much. Can we fix this thing so this can continue?
It says a lot about her character.
Yes.
And also says a lot about how much she cares about me.
Right.
Both of which I very much appreciate.
Yeah.
So,
And,
yeah.
and I've told you this before. For me, I think being a communicator, so important. And remembering the little things, the little details, remembering, their birthday, what their favorite food is, what their coffee order is. Those little things that
Correct.
you can just
Correct.
kind of zing back. Hey, when you go get coffee or something and you just can say the order off the top of your head. Just
kind of get that look up of like,
he pays
dang,
attention. Because
you
as guys, we're kind of just...
we're aloof.
We're a little.
Yeah, we're aloof.
Yeah,
we kind of just,
Yep.
Yeah.
But to be an intentional listener and a communicator, I think those are the two key things to any relationship, making something happen. And and we've talked about that before, but in hearing it now again, you're doing that. You're communicating.
At least trying.
You're
my
trying.
best
You're
to
trying
do
to
that.
your best as a
Yeah.
22-year-old guy.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that's where Christ can help us in those things too, because Jesus was kind of the ultimate communicator. If you really think about it, the way he communicated and the things he told us, it's right there in the Bible. And if the way we talk to Jesus, when we pray to him and we ask him for advice and things like that, we communicate with him in the same way. If you can do that with Jesus, you can definitely do that in a relationship.
Correct.
Because that's just another reflection of your relationship with Jesus. Yes.
Exactly. No, I think you're 100% right.
I love the fact that you are basically describing what a godly woman looks like. Somebody that is not only like making sure that the relationship is working, but like the Christ is at the center, because ultimately you want to have marriage and like continue that. So
Yes. Yeah.
Man.
I want to actually be able to build something
absolutely.
and not just kind of get in the way of it myself. It's like I want to be able to get out of the way, let God be at the center of it, let his word dictate and lead my life, and also let it dictate our hopefully our future family together. It's like obviously like I want that, she wants that, so yeah.
Amazing.
I want to hit you with one more question.
Go ahead.
So what does it mean to be equally yoked with a woman?
That's
that you like?
That's a very good question. I think that to be equally yoked is to have the same level of pursuit of God and of godly qualities, and of the same sort of like familial values.
Yes.
Like this isn't talking about like political leanings or anything like that. This is talking more on just the basis of faith. Where does your faith lie? How strongly do you believe in the Word of God? It's like, do you actually think it is the book of life? Do you think it's a book of truth, or is it kind of like a story? Is it just like like a storytelling book? And at some point it comes back to obviously there is spiritually equally yoked, which is the most important, but also important is what do you want to do with like a family, and having the same kind of like ideas with kids and with sort of like what you want to do, how do you want to raise, our kids and stuff like that. I think that's a very big part, because if you don't really know and you're just like, you're winging it and figure out once you get there, that might not be the most wise practice.
No, you're telling me you can't do that on the fly?
I mean, you can. I'm just,
It's not advisable.
It's not advisable. Correct. Yeah.
And God guides our steps in that.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
If you commit your relationship to Christ, He's going to communicate with you on what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to act and certain steps you're supposed to take. He gives you a blank map that you have to walk on to reveal more things.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
100%.
Yeah.
It is a requirement of any relationship to be equally yoked.
Yes.
If you're unequally yoked, it will crash and burn at some point. It might not be immediate. It might not even be for years or decades, but at some point it will fall apart. Yeah. So to maintain that is a key to success in any relationship.
Amazing.
You're so wise, Ike. Legit. I know I've told you that before, but you really are. Seriously.
The wisdom I have has not come from myself. It comes
from
from
the Lord.
it comes from the Lord, and it comes from
Amen.
experiences and opportunities that He has given me.
Man,
Amen.
said from a wise man.
Yes. Amen.
How about that?
I mean, I prefer more the term of like there's what philosopher? There's like
Socrates.
there's Socrates for like Bocrates. Like Bocrates. Yeah. That's more what I, prefer. It's like I ain't, I'm not some great philosopher or some, like highly wise mind. I am 22 years old. I haven't owned a house. This is the most serious relationship I've ever been in. I don't have it all together.
None of us do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially an old unk like me still doesn't have it together.
Unk does not have it together.
No.
That's okay.
As long as he's had.
Okay.
I feel like
I self-roasted.
You did.
You don't add to the roast, bro.
It needed a little seasoning.
Thanks.
that
Appreciate
wasn't just like salt and pepper. That was like that was
Paprika.
smoked paprika.
Facts.
What you know about that smoked paprika? Come on.
Dude,
That's
you're on
baby.
something there.
Come on,
It's so
smoke
good.
that. Yeah.
But wow, thank you for joining us for this
Absolutely.
Yapology session.
Hey,
I love you, brother.
Hey, I love y'all. Thank you all very
Really,
much for having
yes,
me.
Hey, no
It's
problem.
fantastic.
I do want to pray for us before.
okay. I was gonna say if I could pray for
We're
us.
gonna
I'm not
get a
gonna
quick
lie.
dab.
What did you
Quick
say?
dab
If
from
I
people.
could pray for us.
Absolutely.
I pray for us, brother.
Do it.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Let's bow our heads.
Yes.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Father, thank you for this opportunity to be able to be in this room, to be able to talk to these godly men that are before me. Father, just thank you for the breath of life. I thank you that you have given us a chance just to be here on this day, just to talk about the things of you, to be able to, even furthermore, to get into your word, and Father, just to learn from you about different areas of life. I thank you for just the perspective that you have given us, our own individual lives, and the walks that we have had, our different testimonies, our backgrounds, Father. Thank you that, through liberty, that you have brought us all together, and that without that place, we may have never met before. So I thank you for that outlet. I just pray for this day. I pray that everything that we say and that we do is glorifying to you and is honoring to you, Father, and that points to you above ourselves. Father, let us go forth from this place and be the new creation that you have called us to be. Let us carry our cross daily and always be a reminder of you in our hearts and in all of our actions, that we may be able to reflect you at all times. Father, I pray all these things through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
Amazing.
Right.
All right, we gotta get his picture.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
we should probably like Clink or something.
I just wanted to do that. I just wanted to do that.
He wanted to slay
I
it
just-
up.
I just wanted to do
Bro,
that. I
just
just wanted to do that.